it, there's people here. What's up, everyone? That's what I'm saying, Spunky. What's up? Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Hello, everybody. Guess who else is here? Oh, it's Imoto!
Hello, everybody. We're doing PinTech Live School where I am here, soldering.
Yep.
On my own board.
Here, let's lower that a little bit.
Kyle's forcing me to do it on my own.
We're going to, it's going to be a teaching moment. We got this.
Let us know how we sound. Oh, wait. We don't have
No, we do.
the Yeti?
Yeah, the Yeti's beneath.
Is it on now?
Yes. Well, I tested it before we yanked it out. Yeah, it's working.
How do we, I'm going to boost it up. Talk higher?
Yeah, how do we sound? Hello, everybody.
Should we raise it? Ask if we should raise it.
Should we turn up the volume, turn down the volume, turn off the volume? Do you want this to be miming? Tell me. Suddenly when we ask something of people, everyone's silent. They're just like, yeah, I'm not going to respond.
No, it just takes us. Keep talking.
Eternal Grimmy says pump up the volume, so let's pump it. Pump it up. Let's start making that microphone clip hella hard. Spunky says up the volume, or mime.
I project my voice because I've been hardcore.
Kyle is good. Mike at workbench. Yeah, well, Moto's halfway across the room. Now she's back. Yeah. We're sharing a
how
microphone.
do we sound? Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Well, at least I can see the level, so I won't yell like that. Inner projecting.
What's up? Imoto bought a Star Wars, a Data East Star Wars.
John Borg special.
That's right, and it's not here, but we have parts of it. So we wanted to get Imoto behind the soldering iron for a minute, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I need to know. I need to have practice, on hands practice, of course.
For a little bit of stuff.
But yeah, when I got this game, it wasn't working. Actually, we turned it on to see if it's working, and I heard a fuse pop too. But when we opened up the back box, everything on the power supply, all the connectors were burnt, and the PBB board also had some burnt marks. So I just pulled everything, and I was like, Kyle, I need your help. And he's like, let's do it on the show.
Let's do it on the show.
Okay. And then he's like, you're doing it. And I was like,
You'll do as much as you are comfortable doing. But let's do a couple of them. It's pretty easy to do capacitors. We tried to yank a, that's gonna fall off. We tried to do a fuse clip. Fuse clips are a little harder than a capacitor, and we kind of ripped a trace up, but it's okay. It's fixable, they're easy. It's small, but we can reattach it somehow. It'll be fine.
I'm so sad.
It's so small and dead. Just keep it under here.
Should
and
I keep it as art?
No.
My first F up in pinball repair.
Well, it was also kind of my F up because I was pulling
now it's
things.
with the drill bit that Kyle lost a year ago.
But I found it 3 years ago.
I need to clean that actually.
What?
I just threw something on the floor.
You didn't throw the trace, did you? Just kidding. It's fine. It doesn't even need it. Anyways.
Wait, were we gonna put Trace back on?
I will. We will be, yes. But it's okay. It's on the floor. It's easy to find. It's green. The floor is gray. Don't worry. Here, we'll find it now.
What have I done?
It probably couldn't have flown far anyway.
It looked like it chucked across the world.
No, don't worry about it. It's really not a big deal.
Aaron, look.
It's not that important. It spreads the load between 2 points, but it's not that big of a deal.
I was so angry.
Why?
Is this it? No.
Here. All right, everyone. We're going to find this.
Camera goes on it.
You know a good way to do it is like literally put your head on the floor and look sideways. And then,
I wish you guys could see us.
I mean, you kind of can. Check it out. I'll turn this.
I went straight with the truck. Why did you tell me?
Really, honestly, don't worry about it. It's really not that important.
So worried.
It's not.
A piece of solder.
It could not have flown that far. I guarantee you something like that would have flown like maybe 2 feet.
Why didn't y'all stop me? I'm crawling on the floor now.
Anyways,
I do it.
don't worry about it. Let's get to work. We can fix it. Pinball's easy. We got this.
It's gotta be here. Keep gonna be in this like.
When we're ready to get to it, we'll turn the lights on and get a little extra light, and we'll see.
What if a mouse runs off with it?
Or cockroach. Or rat. Or something. Let's look at the manual. Let's forget all of that happened. Let's pretend like we're just ready to go in here. We're safe-defying this power supply, right? We know power supplies need new capacitors, and we also need Data East games need new fuse clips. How long did it take me to find one that just like broke in my fingers this morning?
Like less than half a second. He was like, "We'll replace these fuse." I can throw that though, right?
You can absolutely throw that. Yeah. See, that's what I do. Everyone always makes fun of me for throwing things across the room, but that's.
I gotta pick that up later too, because
Nah.
we have guests coming.
The vacuum will get it. Anyway, no, just kidding. That's not it. Okay. So.
What are you gonna do? How do
Oh
you
my God.
read that?
I can't read it. That's why I'm always like this during the stream. What does that say?
What
Anyways.
does I always say, do as I say, not as I do.
Yes. I learned that from my father. Anywho, we're going to replace a set bit of capacitors on this board. There are a few different circuits on most power supplies, right? Power supplies generally will create multiple voltages. This one does the voltage, high voltage for your DMD. It does the 5 volts for your electronics and stuff like that, and that's the circuit we're most concerned with. So, can I get this kind of on the, no, I'd have to flip the camera. It's not that important. We'll point it out as, no, let's point it out now.
What do you
Here.
want?
Yeah, let's move this really quick, this helping hand.
Oh, sure.
Scheisse? You're speaking German now? Okay. What we are going to do is take a look.
So switch to the close-up.
Oh, yeah. Close up. Thanks, Aaron.
No.
Thank you, Edible Bard, for
Bye.
giving us a subscription.
Oh, thank you, Edible Bard.
For 3 whole months. You're a kind person. They're going to, we're getting a camera to focus. Maybe a little more light? No? They make it look sickly, huh? This might be hard to follow along with home at just because the print is small and a little bit difficult to read, but let's do some pointing. What we're doing to figure out what...
Glenn, you missed my classic Imoto moment there. You'll have to watch the recap of what I did at the beginning of the show.
The first 5 minutes of the show were the best.
Oh, wait.
Actually, I will turn the light on. That actually makes it a bit, even though it's a gross color, it kind of makes it easier to read. So, what we have is on these Data East schematics, it's actually easier to kind of read them backwards from the source, right? Or the output. So the output we're looking for is 5 volts DC. We can see on this connector here that we've got a couple of voltages that come out here. So logic ground, so that's our digital ground. That's like the ground that is also provided by the power supply. 12 volts unregulated, 12 volts or another 12 volt unregulated, negative 12, and some more logic. But we're concerned with the 5 volts. But we're just using this 5 volts to kind of go backwards. We know that when lines intersect, unless they have a dot, they don't actually intersect. So 5 volts, we go back here and follow it backwards. And we're looking for the electrolytic capacitors, which are the big round boys. And as we follow this trace down, which you guys can still see, let me center this now because we're done with the output. And we can see kind of the entire circuit. We follow it down here and we see I see this capacitor here, C7, 330 microfarads at 25 volts. That's an electrolytic capacitor. I see another one here, C6, it's 0.1 microfarads. Generally that's going to be like a tantalum or a foil capacitor. Those don't go bad in the same way that electrolytic ones go bad. So we're going to ignore that. And we're going to keep going back. So C7, that's one we need to change. We keep looking back through the circuit here. We see C5, which is a 470 picofarad capacitor. That's one that we don't need to change. That's a foil or a tantalum capacitor. So it looks like everything after this regulator is, there's only one. We keep coming back here. Okay, here's C3 is a 47 microfarad capacitor. That guy we're going to do. C4 is an 1800 microfarad capacitor. That's going to be, that looks like it's our, like a DC filter. As we continue moving this way in the schematic, we can see the bridge rectifier here. We see another, C2 is a 100 microfarad capacitor. Thankfully, these are all located very similarly on the board. They're very close. And then we have a C1 is a 1000 microfarad capacitor, which is pre-regulator, or I'm sorry, pre-rectifier. So that's another filter. The filters are there to kind of absorb the potential inconsistency that comes in an AC circuit. Imoto is modeling the power supply wonderfully. So we have just a few capacitors to do. There's not very many. The reason we're not really going to mess with the other ones is half because I didn't bring them, and half because when those capacitors start to fail slightly, they don't cause the same problems that the ones in the 12 and 5 volt circuit do. If we get a little bit of ripple in one of these big boys, the fact that those are like on the high voltage circuit, you just won't see issue like you will. If they start to get a little goofy, you'll never see the issue in the DMD. So we can just ignore those for now. But with 20 minutes and $5 worth of parts, we can potentially make this power supply work, and then we'll see what happens.
So we're replacing all these guys?
No, just those ones we found in that circuit. So I think on this,
The baby
it's
one?
mostly these small dudes and then maybe one of those big guys. I don't remember. The power supply, the Data East manuals, I believe, do have a picture of the board as well that shows you the location of all of the components. But with a keen eye, you can kind of just look and tell where they all are at. So I think we'll be okay. So let's start. Are you excited?
No.
You're scared?
Yeah.
Okay, good. If you're not scared, you're doing it wrong. Okay, you want to do the close-up again there, Miss Erin, the fantastic camera operator. Let's find C1. Man, it's dark. Let me bring the... Do you see why I like having the lights on?
No, I can fix that in the system.
No, I can't see. We need to wait for like cyberpunk times where I can like augment my eyes or something.
I'm gonna
Brighten it up on that side. Kyle, please do warn Imoto about the risk of physically touching capacitors. So these are low voltage things. These are not going to kill you like a high rated capacitor on something like a television or a like a big power supply would, but it is best practice to not bridge the cap. Right, like on a monitor, right? A monitor like runs at like tens of thousands of volts, and tens of thousands of volts stored in a capacitor like will kill you, or very badly injure you.
Like arcade monitors.
Exactly, televisions, like computer power supplies or something like that. But these are, if these were like actually charged up and they don't dissipate, which these do dissipate very fast, it might give you, and then
It's
you'll be
from
okay.
underneath?
Yeah.
So what if I'm like this?
I think the best way you would be able to hurt yourself with these things
Now
is if...
Kyle's got to fix the board. Oh, wait. You panned to me?
Of course.
She's good at panning. But, yes, and also don't touch the soldering
Thank you,
iron.
Jake.
Like when I hang it there and you grabbed it and I was an ass. Let's find C1.
Don't hang the soldering iron on my lights.
Sorry, I still feel bad about that.
It's okay. I didn't get a scar, which is kind of sad.
You wanted a scar?
I mean, scars are cool.
They are, generally.
Scars and memories.
Okay, C1.
Stories.
This one's easy.
Look, it's
it's
jiggly. You
it's
just
the
screw
big
it
boy
up.
right next to the bridge rectifier. So it's going to be that guy right there. Let's get that one done.
That one?
Yep.
No.
So,
It's no, that's not it.
hmm? So we've got bridge rectifier, and then we've got 2 capacitors here, right?
Yeah. I can see the shadow.
Kind of see that one there, and then that one there. We can see too the legs of the capacitor on 2 different like traces in 2 different parts of the circuit. So that's most likely it. So let's do this on this one. We were talking about like cutting things versus not. We can't really cut those. So let's heat them.
We should have named this title "How to Rip Off Traces on Your Pinball Board."
And if you do, how to fix it, because it's not the end of the world. This. These will actually come off really easy. You know why? Because you can grab it. So once you have it, once you have them unsoldered, and once you get that ready, you might not need flux for this one. They actually look okay. In lieu of having flux like that, you could actually just put a little solder. So I'll teach you some of that stuff too. Grab the soldering iron, and we'll just have to tin the tip really. So. Make sure it's clean. The tip looks okay. Yeah, it's not covered in goop or anything. And then put a little bit of solder on the tip. Yeah, and that's exactly all you need. Yeah. Arrgh, get out of here, smoke. So we're going after that guy there. So get ready with this guy. We're going to want to suck that out as much as we can. We're not going to be able to suck it all out, but these will be a lot easier to pull out than the fuse clip. So don't let that be anywhere near traumatic. But get that in there. Watch it all melt. Bury that soldering iron into the board. Yep, let it all melt. So remember, the big trace is going to soak up a lot of that heat. We want to make sure that it's hot enough to melt all the solder. That looks good. So get that in there close. How's that look? Does it look cleared out at all?
No.
Not really?
A little, but.
Let's see. No, not really. So let's try it again. Maybe that sucker actually kind of sucks, so I might be able to get you a better one.
I want this, that Hako one.
Yeah. That is good for doing stuff like this.
Is this one, right?
Yeah. And really lay it on there. Watch it get molten, right? It kind of changes color when it gets...
I feel it loosening.
Yeah. Yeah, now get in there and try to remove that. Remember to keep the iron on it. You also have to make enough room for the sucker to be able to suck the solder out. You know what I mean? Any better?
Ish.
Let's see.
I need one of those like things you put on your eye.
I have one.
A jeweler's lube.
Try doing this. Try adding a teeny bit of solder to the tip, getting it really hot again, and then doing like an immediate like swapperoo. Get it really hot, watch it melt, then like in one motion pull the soldering iron away and put the sucker on and then suck it all out.
What the fuck?
Hey, no swearing.
You guys didn't hear that.
No,
right?
Look, everyone's cheering you on.
Go, you out of go.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks. Wait, so I'm tinning the tip and then hitting the board?
Yeah, and the reason we're tinning the tip a little bit is because we're getting the flux in the solder to help melt everything that is on the board. So sometimes adding a little more will help. So get it really nice and hot, nice and hot, nice and hot, and then like immediately pull away and then suck. Any better?
I just added more to it. My left thumb is like not
Almost not strong enough. You know what? That's why I like this one so much, because you can use...
It's just not good.
That's the benefit of these guys, because you can go...
Oh.
You don't even need to use your
Push
thumb. This might be a little stronger than that one, so why don't we actually swap? Use this guy.
Wait.
Yep, you're on the right one.
Okay. Ooh. Get hot. Get hot. Get hot. Get hot. Are you hot enough?
Actually, you know what? One thing, back up really quick.
Can I talk? Oh, I'm about to do it.
Yeah, go ahead. What does it look like?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. We can continue and get the other one, and then we can extract one
This
thing.
is why we pay pinball technicians that do board work the big bucks.
Look at
Showing
the
y'all right now.
look at the tip of the soldering iron too. Do you see how it's kind of a chisel?
Yeah.
When you're trying to apply the heat, use the flat side. Apply the flat side to the board. That way you have a larger surface area to be able to transfer more heat to what you're working on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. the tip and sucking is gonna get you guys in Facebook jail?
No.
This is a proper nomenclature in pinball.
That's right. We're vacuuming the solder. Let's change that. Okay, try going for this guy here. Try doing the other one. What we can do is we can try the double, the heating and then gently removing the capacitor. But I'll see what we can get. This is for all practice. If any irreparable or damage is done to this board, we can very easily fix it, and then if it like absolutely craps out, then we just can replace it. But
Did something.
cleaner hole?
I think it.
A little bit. It's hard, and this is why
You guys see?
this is. No, they can't really see how clean the holes get.
How
we're
clean
gonna,
is your hole?
we're totally gonna get into Facebook jail, aren't we? I don't care. Facebook
The
is.
macro on this camera is actually really good. Do you see that?
So, let's try this. I'm gonna grab the
In
capacitor.
focus.
Try heating it up for me. Just exactly what we did last time, but hopefully we do a little bit less damage.
That's better shot.
And also, you know what too? Sometimes it is a little difficult to work both sinks. And this is like why you were saying like why the solder sucker, the desoldering iron is so useful, because you don't have to do 4 things at once. Yeah, keep it on there.
Oh, I felt it.
Yeah, I can feel it wiggling, so I'm gonna kind of move it. Okay, let's get the other one.
But these are kind of bent too.
See, and that's why I always tell people to not bend their leads when they're putting them in boards. That makes it very difficult to remove them. So one thing we'll try to do here, while you keep it hot. Okay, back off. Ah, dang. Get it hot again. One thing you try to do, get in there and straighten the lead out while not trying to bend the trace.
We started at expert level. We
The-
should have done this on my hard body boards.
Those are actually a lot harder to work on because the traces are so much finer. These Data East boards are a little simpler. It's kind
Yeah,
of
it's
coming.
super bent.
Yeah, keep it hot. Keep it in one place. I'm going to try to push it back through. Here, let me use these.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, here. Back off this iron really quick. And I'll get. There we go. Perfect.
Nice. Okay, then this guy.
Yep, get that one nice and hot, and we'll try to wiggle it out.
Don't pull my trace.
Okay, get the other one
Don't
now.
pull my trace.
Oh, see, it's coming slowly. Okay, get the other one. Okay, hit the other side. Very slowly trying to remove these capacitors. Okay. hit
And
the
we're
other
at
side.
800 degrees right now on this soldering iron.
I think the reason this one's actually kind of a pain in the butt is because we don't have any solder in these holes. So here, keep it on the, yeah, put it there. Sometimes yeah, back off. This is my preferred, I get the other side. With components like this, that side, it is worth it to, if you can, most of the time, we want to try to remove them safely, gently. Okay, that came out just fine. That looks like solder, not a fillet, so that's good. Unless you have a desoldering pump, sometimes it is not recommended to try and remove the component. Sometimes it's easier to heat the component out to try to get it out safe, right? We do that a lot of the times with like header pins and stuff like that. The reason being is that a desoldering iron doesn't have enough suction to like remove all the crap from around the component, right? Right. So, but now we've heated it out. We've used enough solder and flux to move it out safely. Now, when you get in and heat those things up, this thing will take all that solder out, and you'll end up with a really clean through hole. So, but remember to heat it up all the way, right? We want to make sure we're heating up the trace, the solder, all the solder running through the board. Yeah. Wait, here, where's the broken part
Why
of
are
the
they
manual?
coming towards me? I can see through it.
Hey! Excellent.
10 times the charm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we can get the other side.
Now we're making pinball money.
I'll be
I
the solder.
feel like such a diva. I'm getting fans.
Oh, I'm keeping it away from you. Yeah, but that one's probably good. That one's a smaller trace,
Oh,
right?
I fucked up. Oh, God. I
See?
can't be on this show on this side.
I told you. I told you it's hard.
I can't even do this part.
Haha.
Did
Good
that
job.
work?
Yeah, you clicked it.
Yeah, I should have put on the mature thing. I know for the future, if I'm actually on the show working on something.
This is not a show for your children. Have them watch whatever kids watch these days. Did that one come through? Do you have to recock it?
Yeah.
This is your test. It's not physically possible to repair pinball machines without swearing.
See?
Yeah, no, see, that's me. That's me saying, see? All my swearing is justified.
I don't know. There's no freaking hole, Kyle.
Let me see.
I got one hole. That's about as accomplished as I can get. Now it's like smoking.
So let's, so here, we'll add a little bit of solder. Sometimes you have to add more to remove. Remember to use the flat, try to use the flat side. Yeah, there you go. Now back it off the hole a little bit, right? Because if we heat up the trace, now we're gonna wait for it to melt all the way through, right? We wanna keep the heat on because we need to melt all the solder all the way through the board.
It doesn't burn the board after a while.
It can, but not in this instance. Okay, now try to give it a good removal.
Are you heated? Are you heated? Are you heated?
That thing's totally hot. Go for it.
I have a hole.
Hey!
I
Okay.
have 2 holes now.
Fantastic.
Oh my God, that's stressful.
It can be, but you're doing a great job. For someone who's never done this before, you've got the basics.
See my hand.
Do you want to, we can just continue removing, I suppose. We have a schematic. A lot of times when I'm doing this kind of stuff, if it's a board that I'm not like familiar with or don't do all the time, I like to remove and then replace and do one at a time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's actually replace. Well, let's do that. Because then if you don't want to do this anymore, that's a perfect out. So, I here have a pile of capacitors that I got from
Or push it.
the work before we came over here. And the schematic, the factory capacitor, or the called for capacitor on the schematic was a 1,000 microfarad capacitor at 25 volts. The stuffed capacitor was a 1,000 at 25. And the one that I have to replace it is a 1,000 at 25. We've talked about this before, right? You can change these values sometimes. We always want to make sure that the voltage rating of a capacitor is higher than the circuit it's on. This circuit runs at 12 volts on this side, if I remember right. So 25 is more than 2 times 12 volts, so we're good. We wouldn't want to use a 10 volt or a 5 volt capacitor. We would make it go explodey very fast. The microfarad rating on a power supply, generally you have some wiggle room.
What if you go way over?
Way over is fine. It's just the ceiling.
Mm.
This is rated to withstand up to 25 volts.
What is the jig you're using to hold the board?
I don't know. I've had this for a million years.
Board holder.
Yeah, it's just a circuit board
Circuit.
holdy thingy.
We
I
should sell
never
this.
use it.
We have a similar one, but it's like this, 2 pieces, like a
Oh, really?
rotisserie.
You can get
But
them
this is
pretty.
nice.
You can get them pretty easy at like on like electronics supply stores and websites. I mean, I think I either got that from a swap meet or someone gave it to me. But it is just an old circuit board rotisserie. Sorry, the chat is actually going.
From Chris Koontz.
Craig, joining late. Missed seeing Kyle and Imoto at PinFest this year, but got to talk to Steve and bought supplies.
We missed you.
We missed you too. It's a fun show. It always looks like a good time.
Thanks, John. I should have just sent these boards to you.
Yeah, anyways, the jig. Okay, so do you remember how to tell the polarity of the capacitor, Imoto? Do you know what polarity means?
The positive and negative.
Perfect. Do you remember how to tell the polarity on the capacitor?
The longer one's the positive.
Yes, that's actually true. But if you didn't know that, we have the negative stripe lined up with the negative side here.
Yeah. Is there a positive stripe?
There's not.
Okay.
So you always line it up that way. And generally, the board is going to mark which side the positive has to go to as well.
Why are there multiple holes? See, that's where I didn't even see that.
So
on
for
this
different
side.
form factor capacitors. So the electronics engineer probably, like, look at the spacing on the, actually these are the same-ish. But, you know, sometimes capacitors come in different form factors, and look at how much narrower this guy is. So depending on,
Positive tastes mintier.
Ayo. But depending on like what they can get, they want to make it as universal as possible.
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
So, hopefully this lines up
But
okay.
that was probably why it was so hard to get that hole clean, because
It was heating up too.
yeah.
So, put that guy in. Line up the positive with the one that has the plus next to the hole. Triple check yourself. It is always not fun.
Negative, positive, no line.
Good. It is never fun to install a capacitor and power up a power supply and be like, ah, it works! And then like 3 seconds later it goes and all the magic smoke comes out and the capacitor explodes inside the back box.
So it doesn't, the color doesn't signify anything?
No.
Brand?
Nope. Nope, not all the time. I mean, there are like different brands of capacitors, of course, but the color doesn't mean anything. It's just a
Do
signifier.
certain restorers like only pick certain color capacitors to make their game look beautiful when you open it up like a car?
I like to use black capacitors because they look cool.
Why'd you give me a blue capacitor?
Because that's what we stock. I like these ones a
blue.
lot.
It's almost Marco blue.
I like the golden black ones. These always look really nice. Like certain, like in actual fields where this stuff matters and not pinball where it doesn't matter, like some capacitor brands are very
Oh,
like,
Imoto just touched the cap leads. Is there any issue with residual skin oils on the capacitors?
maybe, but no, not in reality. Not in pinball land. It's fine. If we were dealing
So I
with
need
like
gloves.
some people do work with gloves, yeah. In certain areas where those things actually matter,
Eternal
maybe.
Grammy wanted me to touch it with my tongue.
That's how you tell if a battery's charged, right? You lick it. No, just kidding. No, we're all good. But like in some things, like in amplifiers or certain things, like there are capacitors that are made to a really high standard. There's a Japanese company called Nichikan or something like that that
Nichikan.
make like the best capacitors in the entire world. Like the tolerance is perfect. They're manufactured to a really high standard. So like in amplifiers, like people who claim things sound better when you
I
use
only
that
put
stuff.
Nichikan
Only the
capacitors
finest
in my
Japanese
pinball
capacitors.
machines.
Yeah, for no reason, but it's fine. Anyways, let's solder that sucker in. So when we flip it over, though, you want to make sure like it might fall out, right? So either hold it or do the bending, right? We can bend those leads just a little bit to at least hold it in. If we did something like that, that's not that bad. But when we are soldering it in, what I'll like to do usually is tack it in, and then push the top of the capacitor, get it hot, and make sure it sits nice and flush to the board. It just looks better.
What
Um,
happened? Oh,
uh,
wait.
Hey.
Where is it?
right there.
Oh, yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah, so this is a lot easier, the installing part. In fact, here, I'll hold it for you, so it'll get in nice and flat and flush without having to do like 4 different things. So,
Stop licking batteries.
are you right-handed?
Yes.
Okay. Soldering iron in the right hand is usually easier for most people. And then bringing the solder in with the left.
All right.
And
Tin?
so, yeah, give it a little bit of a tin. But remember what we're trying to do when we're soldering, right, is we want to heat up everything at the same time. So we're going to get the iron on the trace and heat up the trace in the board. The iron also is going to touch the lead, and we're going to get the lead nice and hot. And then we're going to introduce the solder. The solder is going to stick to anything hot with flux on it and is clean. right? So that's why we want to heat them all up together, bring the solder in. And what that'll do is it'll pull the solder through the other side of the board to make a perfect connection.
So tin it, then hold it on the board.
Yep, teeny bit of a tin, just a little bit. Let me get my fan out for you.
Too much?
All good. So now bring them all together. Yeah, do the top one first.
All together.
You might even see the solder kind of suck into the hole like already. But
It's sucking into
so
the
now
hole.
add just a teeny bit of solder. I mean, you're going to add like just a hair, right? That's probably good. Okay, now let go. That's good. And what we were trying to get,
I made a pyramid.
it is, it's a little
My
pyramid.
very first pyramid.
She did it. She did it. All right, now do the other one.
All right.
You don't need to tin it again.
I'll now take $75 an hour, please.
That's right. You can raise your rates now. You've got more
Raise
skills.
my rates.
This one will take a little longer, right? Look how fat the trace is compared to that other one. So just hold it on there for a while. Now add solder, right? Just you can use the solder as the probe, right? Add it in. Is it hot enough? Have we gotten it in there? Yeah, that looks good. Add a little bit more. You can be a little more liberal with this one because it's a fatter trace and you can spread it out. So drag the iron up towards the top and yeah. Fantastic.
Header.
Let me judge here.
I need more of a pyramid.
Let's see.
It's tiny.
Actually, yeah. Just a teeny bit more is fine. But let it all get hot, though, right? We want it. We want the solder to all melt together. We don't want to put more solder on top of a cool joint. Yeah. Now go ahead. Again, most of the time, I'm always telling people not to practice on their board, but
I know, and
we're-
then he was like, "Oh, you do."
we're under supervision here, so we're good. We're good.
It's just all going to that hole.
That's fine. That's a fine connection. That's okay. This solder that we're using is also not like the world's greatest solder, but it'll do the job.
It
It's
says
fine.
the best flux in core, made in Taiwan.
Yeah, like in 1985, whenever that solder was made.
It says lead on it.
Yeah, so
Don't touch my
definitely
face.
don't touch your face. When you're done, go wash your hands. But go ahead, cut those leads. Don't cut them too close. Don't cut into the solder, but get those leads right down against the solder blob.
Here?
A little closer. Yeah, something like that. Those are really crappy flush cutters. That worked. Ta-da!
It's like removing a splinter.
Exactly. Now get the other. All right, rinse, repeat. Do that like 15 more times. No.
And that's the show.
We can, good job, Imoto. Everyone clap. Everyone clap. All the chat, bring up your claps. Bring something up.
Bring up your cleatuses.
Yeah, no.
I want to see dancing cleatuses. Not using what?
Kester.
Kester?
Nah,
Oh.
this bench solder is not Kester. I carry,
Wow, this is heavy.
I have my,
Hold on.
actually, this isn't Kester either. This is MG Chemicals, but at home I carry Kester. At my bench, I'll usually have Kester. There we go. Look, everyone's clapping. Good job, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for your encouragement and support.
See, I mean, it's not easy. It really isn't easy, but it's not that
No.
hard, is it?
No, it's scary.
You can make some pretty serious mistakes, but through repetition, that's not that hard, right?
Yeah. Like this looks gross, but you said it's good.
Yeah, this is just from someone, there's a lot of flux still on here, and someone didn't clean it off. So,
Heathens.
it's not that bad. You did a good job.
All right, now we gotta do like, what, 50 more of these?
Yeah, do you want to do another one?
Sure.
When
I'll
you
do
are
it.
ready to tap out, you can totally tap out. Okay, so we did C1, and we'll just keep moving along here. So the next capacitor we have to do is let's find C2.
Because we gotta put the resistors on the PB board, right?
Yeah, we'll try to rush that through. When you're ready for me to take over, we'll come through and I'll rip this thing up. Because I'd also like to turn that camera around and point it at Monday Night Football. And we can plug it into the game and make sure we have the proper voltages coming out.
Next to my hard body. Oh, we can make sure my hard body board is working.
We can do all sorts of testing. We can do that tomorrow too. But yeah, let's. Where's C2 at?
C2 is right there.
That's the small one? Cool. Yeah, it's the one right next to it. So let's flip that guy over. Something I like to do sometimes as well is leave the leads sticking out the back, so I know that I've done them all that I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think we've got enough, like 20 people watching us right now.
Do
who I can
they?
trust.
Does anyone ever make colored solder? So then, like, instead of silver, it's like purple and pink solder.
That would probably
Is
be
that
a
a thing?
Somewhere.
good way to make
Surely, right?
solder even more toxic.
Check
by-
for leaks on C2. Inspect before putting in the new one. Says Mr. Baxter.
Yes, we are going to be replacing all of those capacitors in this area. But he's right. So what will happen is one of the failure points, like I told you, is like capacitors will either bulge out the top. We've seen them, they kind of balloon out a little bit when they start to swell, or they leak from the bottom. And the juice inside these electrolytic capacitors is caustic, and it will eat traces. So let's get that one out, and we can make sure that it hasn't leaked out the bottom and destroyed the bottom of the board. That happens often. And the reason that these ones fail a lot, right, is one reason I'm pretty sure is that they're all near the this heat sink, and this whole area just gets really hot.
Oh, right. You were
and-
saying that.
So most of the capacitors we're changing are these guys here, really close to the heat sink, and things that run pretty toasty, and that doesn't necessarily help them.
Move that guy.
It's all you.
It's backwards.
I hope not. Also, it'll pop nice and loud when we get it in there. All right, get that guy out. We can double team
Wait, it'll
this.
pop. So if I heard a
No, you would
I was
have.
like, I heard a pop.
It would've
but
smelled
been a fuse. Yeah.
really
And
bad.
I would actually see it
Yes.
damaged. Okay, so I want to tin my soldering iron tip.
Yep.
It's these two here.
Yep.
Look how bent that is.
Yeah. I'll come in and I'll straighten those out if you heat them up for me. Let's get the top one first. The bottom one will be more difficult because you see how fat that trace is? That one's connected directly to the bridge rectifier. I see too many shadows. Yeah, here, get back in there. That one's being a butthole. Yeah, suck it out, actually. If you suck the solder out, that might actually give us some more room. C2 is notorious for leaking.
Why? Why? Oh, because it's so close to the heatsink.
Yeah. Colin says, have you replace a fuse clip? Those are fun. Yeah, well, we tried that first, and
Colin, you need to watch the beginning of the show where I
oh, that's perfect. Good work.
just chucked.
So you can try, one thing you can actually try to do, Imoto, is like, you can try to push it with the soldering iron, right? So if you get the
that's what I was
lead,
kind of doing.
and if you push it up a little bit, like towards, it might not work. Sometimes when you just heat the lead, the rest of the solder inside the fillet will melt and just kind of glue it back in. But
I see it, so I think I can get it.
you know what, maybe using a smaller tool for this one would be easier too.
Oh, it's small. Just kidding.
Yeah, let's just ignore that.
It's kind of lifting up a little. Okay.
That one might, it's not bent over enough where when we wiggle it, it might peel its way out. Okay, this one though, on the other hand, is really bent over, and I curse the person who put this one together. So, let's try sucking the solder out of this guy too.
Before pulling it up.
Oh, Colin is driving. He is listening to us, not
Oh.
watching us
You
right
missed
now.
where I just threw away my trace with the drill bit somewhere. Where's roller pinball when we need him?
He's not gonna troll you. I'm more trollable, I guess.
What? I want him to troll me.
Yeah, see,
Trolling is how you show love.
yeah, keep it pushed down. Yeah, okay, now try to suck that out.
It's not. Bubble more. Bubble. Bubble, bubble. How did it
Oops.
go?
No, just add,
Oh,
just,
okay.
you got it? Okay, yeah, suck it out, suck it out. Oh.
Just kidding. I just like missed with the suck.
Yeah, you went a little too fast on the trigger. Let's add a little bit of solder
Okay.
so we get it hot. Sometimes when we want things to melt, you can add that little bit of solder because it has
I
that
made a
flux in
hole.
there. Hey, perfect. Okay, so you be very gentle with those and try to get the blade underneath
Right.
right? And then you can kind of lift. The thing we want to try to do is not tear, not force it away, because if it's welded
Aaron's
to the
still
edge,
looking for my trace. Find my trace.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
is that working?
Come on, little Billy.
Kinda.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect. Okay, great. It's like, this is something that takes like so much dexterity.
Oh, I'll try to get this guy a little bit.
Ow, oh, fuck, that's hot. I was gonna say I'll wiggle it a bit and see if we can get it to change position so you can kind of reach it better. Is that working? Holy moly, that's hot. If it's not, it's fine. What we can do is just, we'll do the wiggle technique again.
Yeah, kind of pushed up.
That one will probably come out easier.
It's like over here that needs to be. To add a little bit of solder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that suck anything? Does this thing have any suction left? Let's try this. To get this one out, since it's so small, we're gonna have to sacrifice the camera angle a little bit, but because I want to be able to use my fingers instead of a tool to wiggle it. Oh
My fingers are
God.
tiny.
It's so hot though.
Hold on.
How calloused are your fingers?
Pretty callous kind of climber.
Just have to be really
It doesn't even
gentle.
wiggle.
Yeah, well, because you need to get it hot. As you get it hot, though, don't pull, right? You do it one side at a time and try to like slowly remove it, because if we pull and it's still welded to the fillet, you're gonna pull the fillet through the power supply. It's okay though, because that's fixable.
Oh, this guy's coming out.
Good. Yeah, it's small, so heating up one leg is probably also putting a ton of heat into the other leg.
There's still a bunch of solder on this side.
As long as you get the legs out clean. The solder's kind of helping us, right?
I think it's like burning a little.
Add a little bit of more solder if you need to. Are you physically stuck, or like because of the legs bent, or?
I think a little. Yeah.
Let's see.
That one sort of came out a little, but
Yeah, here, get that one hot, and then I'm gonna hold on that one for a while. And yep, keep it there. Keep it there, keep
Yeah,
it there. And I'm
he's
gonna
coming
push,
out,
keep
but-
it there, and I'm gonna push. There it goes.
it's good.
And then that guy's barely in there. So what I'm gonna do is
Oh yeah, 'cause it got hooked. Hold on.
try to bend it up. Perfect. Almost there. So instead of pushing it out though, careful, because we don't want to damage the
I'm
fillet.
trying to bend it up.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're actually pushing it out now. So hold it on the trace there. Hold it on the pad. And we're gonna get it nice and hot. I'm even gonna add just a teeny bit more solder, and that might help it just totally fall right out. That one's a bastard. Okay, let's see how we did. Hey, there's no fillet. Perfect. Good job. We did it. Let's inspect the capacitor. Good job, Imoto. Everyone clap again. That one is not easy. This one is not easy because it's so dang small.
I gotta get rid of this solder.
Well, first, let's look at the capacitor before we clean the hole up.
My holes are dirty.
You're really going to get us banned from Facebook. So look at the
Yeah, man. Ooh, I can get points.
look at the
Hey,
lead.
Turn, thank you for the claps. And Pinball Magician.
Do you see the lead facing towards like away from you? Do you see how it's got a little bit of schmuck on there?
Yeah.
That could be leaking capacitor. So, let's flip it over and see what we have.
I don't want to let.
Looks okay. I can't really see because it's too dark.
It doesn't look leaky. Maybe right there. No.
I don't really want to touch my phone because it's I don't want to get lead.
What are you trying to do?
Light it up.
Oh.
I don't have a
I
flashlight
didn't
on me.
touch lead with this side of my phone.
No, it actually looks okay. So that's the trace right there. So if this was eaten up, can we see that?
Oh.
Kind of. Yeah, right there. Is the ring light? That's fine. That shows enough contrast. So here's the trace right here. It leads into this diode. And if that capacitor leaks, what we end up with is it'll eat up around the connection here between this trace and the pad. And the break can be so minuscule you can't see it with your eyes, and you need to use tools. And I think for the sake of just kind of proof, let's use that tool. So we'll get our voltmeter. We'll put it in diode mode so we can get a continuity check. What we can do is put it on one end here, right? It leads to this diode. So I'll put it on the lead of this diode and we'll touch the fillet or the pad. And that's good. We've got continuity. So there's no microscopic breaks there. So excellent.
Yay!
Clean up that hole.
Clean your hole, Imoto.
God. I'm surprised that the chat isn't the ones with like riffing on the stupid
they don't
joke.
Need to, 'cause my hole's right there. Okay. Kevin Moore. I like how Kyle calls the plated through holes fillets. Fillets.
Filet de circuit board.
Plated through holes. Well, plated through holes is such a mouthful.
Yeah.
Fillet.
Fillet.
You just go. Okay. Do I need to retin my iron every time?
No, but I would just add solder to those. I would add solder to the places you're trying to suck out. So add a little bit of fresh solder, and then it'll make it a lot easier to pull all the solder out. But you see how having the desoldering iron just makes this like a breeze in comparison to like 4 different tools and...
I missed.
So a hobbyist doesn't necessarily need the
Taco.
doesn't need the Hako, but someone who's doing this multiple times, it saves you so much time. So
Nope.
don't worry about like burning it. Like really try to position the sucker before you go for the kill, if you will.
I mean, it's hot and bubbling. Oh no!
What happened?
I touched it.
What?
I touched the trace.
Well, that's fine. What do you mean?
That guy, the green.
Oh, that's fine. They call that like a mask, and that just covers the.
It like pushed back.
It's fine. Yeah. When you put a lot of solder on there, it'll start to bubble up and go away, but there's no problem with that. It just covers the trace, protects it from corrosion. Hello, Mike McHugh. I can kind of see the
Hi,
chat
Mike.
while I fan the solder away.
Don't mind me, just doing board work.
Yeah, this could just be
I
a
don't know why.
dumb drinking game. It's not going?
No. I can't, I'm not good at sucking.
You can't get the suck. Yeah, careful. You're gonna get
Eyes
some.
on the board.
You're gonna
Eyes
get
on
some
the board.
Imoto deep fake going on.
God.
That's when you know you've made it.
Yeah.
It's like went all the way through.
Not working? Yeah, let me see.
Firing myself.
You're not fired. Yeah, let me jump in there.
You're not fired. Go find your trace.
Yeah, there you go.
Doing roller pinball's here now. You missed it.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Imoto lost things this time.
I chucked it. And then I needed it. Who does that?
I don't know how far you threw it.
Oh, crap.
Right, you think it went really, really far?
Turn the lights on.
House lights? Okay.
Yeah.
House lights.
It couldn't have gone that far. Oh, look at all that. I can see.
Kyle can see now.
See, I feel like
Can you clean my hole?
Oh, yeah. That's a clean hole now.
I did the same thing. I don't understand. How did that not?
Sometimes, like, I guess, like, the technique I use is, like, get it on there, get it, like, on the hole.
Yeah.
Get the whole thing really hot. And then right when you're about to get this in, just tilt it away and just immediately go for the suction. The thing is, though, this doesn't have a ton of suction. This is not, like, great. One thing sometimes people use, and maybe we should have brought it, like, as an example, is soldering braid, desoldering braid.
Oh yeah, I like those.
That doesn't work
You don't
nearly.
like those, though.
It doesn't work nearly as well as suction to actually clean the hole. Man, we really should have. I guess if this was like at like 5 p.m. on a like after work time, we could have turned this into a stupid drinking game. Like, everyone follow along at home. Every time Kyle and Imoto say clean your hole,
Clean your hole.
take a shot of rum, take a shot of whiskey, drink something good. It is Thirsty Thursday. Colin participates Thirsty Thursday every day and then shames all of us for not drinking with him. So C2 is 100 microfarads at 25 volts.
That's what I'm saying. What the heck did you do with it?
This one is 100 at 50. I'm pretty sure that's the one that the kit's going to have us use. That's 330. 100 at 47.
No way, it's all the way over here.
Is there 100 at 50 in this circuit somewhere?
Oh, yeah, we should do an episode on repairing lifted pads and traces.
Man, I know I've done it a bunch of times. I
Yeah,
just
they're
don't
just
know
sparse
when.
stuck in.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what was that?
This is just a fuse clip.
Oh, that was the other thing I threw.
Oh.
I have a 100 microfarad at 50 volt capacitor and then 100 at what's this one I'm holding in my hand? This one's 100 at 40 I was reading that totally backwards. It's 47 microfarads. This is 100 at 50. So this is what we need. Make sure you read the capacitors. That would have been really dumb if I didn't read that all the way. I don't usually make. I've never made that mistake, but you know. Yeah. So.
As soon as you throw it, I'm like, I wonder if she didn't need that. And then as soon as you were like, yeah, she needs it, that's when I started laughing.
And again, if it's gone, it's fine. It's
No, it's not gone. It's here somewhere.
yes,
There's crumbs on the floor.
just like the drill bit. That's probably from my delicious mortadella sandwich and provolone sandwich I had for lunch today.
Yeah. Fuse clip.
Oh, Roller Pinball was having a job interview.
Wait.
Best of luck.
You found it? Oh, that's.
Ever think you guys could do a show? Yeah, hopefully one day. Yeah, you'd be doing a lot of whiskey shots. We'd all be totally effed up.
Yeah.
I didn't see that question, Roller Pinball, about a modern power supply and an EM.
Oh, was it the beginning?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you could. But why? Transformers really don't ever go bad. And if it does go bad, you totally could. So as long as you found a power supply that could supply all the voltages. A lot of the times, older electromechanical games will run on 3 voltages, right? A higher voltage for some coils, like a
Let's see where this goes.
medium voltage for some other thing.
I'm not gonna look for it again.
Now we're doing ballistics tests.
We are.
Oh, maybe it landed on his desk. We didn't check here yet.
We actually did it.
Y'all are wild. Okay, C1, C2, C3. Let's do C4. 18,000 at 25. Now I think the kit that we're selling right now might be using a capacitor I don't like at that value. Let's see. That's a 220. Or did I not get the correct capacitors? Oh,
I mean, I
Oh,
was
wait.
angry when I threw it, so maybe it did go all the way back here.
C4. Does this not have a high value capacitor?
Why is there a hole? I did find it underneath.
I'll have to look at that when I get back to the office. C4, where's C4 on the board? C4 is down here, so that's a big filter. What is this actually rated for? Oh, it's a 4700. Why does the manual say 18,000? What the hell? Okay, well, whatever. Imoto's digging on the floor right now, looking for the trace that she threw across the room and may or may not find. I'm gonna hold off on this capacitor for now. One of the capacitors that we are including in this kit, or had in this kit, is a radial snap capacitor, and that is not a good substitute for this board. The snap capacitors are a little more difficult to fit through these traces. And in all honesty, if I could find a capacitor that was like a 5,000 microfarad, we could increase that value a little bit, as long as we had a standard through-hole capacitor. So let's skip C4 for now. We've done C1, C2. C3 is a 47 microfarad capacitor, which is right here. Now I lost it. I'm not used to working with like actual equipment. I'm used to just like slumming it with things on the table. It's kind of fun.
There's like a hole in the stage.
Yeah. It did
Perfect.
not go into the
You don't
hole.
know that.
If I gave you a basketball right now and we were on a basketball court, do you think you'd be able to sink a three-pointer?
I could.
You could?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disbelieve you. I'm just asking. Because that's like akin to what that would be. There's probably bodies under there.
I just said it. I don't want to
Seen some like John Wayne Gacy adjacent things.
I can't reach down that far. I need longer fingers.
If you couldn't tell, this is a fun show today.
Look away.
I'm also realizing that we might be cutting this really close on time to be able to try and actually test this on camera. So we'll see what we can do.
I gotta get back to the job.
Y'all are dorks. 47 microfarads at 63
I'm never gonna
volts.
be able to vacuum in here again until I find it.
47 at 100 volts. That is a fine replacement, because remember it's okay to go up in volts because it is just the ceiling. So I'm gonna kind of rush through some of this. I'd really like to try and plug this thing in, but we'll see. Triple checking the orientation of the capacitor. It's always a good idea to check yourself in many situations, really.
Yeah.
Thanks for streaming with me on Friday last week also, guys. That was fun. We got a lot of work done. Elvira is actually looking quite spiffy. Some new ramps, and that thing is actually, we'll be actually really close to playtesting and the entertaining portion of rebuilding pinball games.
How bizarre.
Yeah.
Are you just replacing caps to repair a power supply? Yes. What we were doing was Imoto was kind of doing some of the soldering. We were teaching Imoto some board level soldering skills, and she did a very good job on the two capacitors she did. Her first time ever doing board level work, and it is not easy. It's not easy.
Now I'm gonna have to rent pinball machines from my arcade.
Why?
Because I'm breaking all my games.
I mean, if you I mean, they're going to break anyways, whether you break them or someone who walks in and pays you breaks them. They're always going to break. It's okay, dude. If it's not there, it's no big deal.
No, I know, but I did.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It pisses you off, just the principle of it is where the hell did it go?
Yeah, I just want to find it.
It was in here and now it's gone and I hate
How
that.
does that happen?
I did not eat it.
You ate it?
Let's see. It didn't like land in the magnet thing, did it? That's where the bolts are.
Kind of, you guys can't see, but the leads of these capacitors are very bent over, and this is why I always tell people to not bend leads because it makes things a pain in the butt to remove. So I'm kind of bending them. Trying to snake them out. I had one that was very clearly loose, so I was able to wiggle it without removing any or causing any damage.
If it's behind
How do you do that so fast? I chucked it and it flew back. Oh, here it is. Just kidding.
Oh my god. I was about to be like, damn it.
I got so excited.
Me too.
I can do it fast, I guess, just practice, you know?
Yeah, you've done it like 100 times or more. How many times do you think you've done?
More than 1,000, less than 100,000.
I don't know why it would be back here. I definitely saw it fly.
A big range. C7, 330. 330, that's going to be a larger boy. Here we go, 330 at 50 volts. We'll get this sucker in. Let's see. Negative goes towards here.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Positive here. I'm checking myself before I wreck myself. Got it in. Yeah, this was a... So again, the reason we're changing these capacitors is it is a good thing for the reliability of these games as we move on. Imoto bought a Star Wars, and one thing that you always want to do when you get these old games that are not working is do some of the baseline stuff. So we are changing all of the important capacitors in the 5-volt circuit.
It's all of Kyle's crumbs. Yeah.
All the of the capacitors in the 12-volt circuit to ensure that we have a good 5 volts to the computer to run, and yeah, hopefully these Data East power supplies really suffer from crummy fuse clips as well. So we are going to try and change out the fuse clips.
Part of my tour tomorrow with Ryan Cravens is going to be him helping me find my trays connected. Oh my God.
Oh no, when we bring Ryan over here, we're going to play pinball. You guys can find the
I
trace.
have an hour-long tour. It's going to take 5 minutes, and then we're going to just spend the rest of the time with him.
But we were playing pinball with him. I'm going to try to get these fuse clips. So, okay, fuse clips are a lot more difficult to remove than the capacitors are. Fuse clips are larger. They're kind of pronged and spiky, so they are hard to get in and out. Sometimes to get fuse clips out, it is a good idea to cut.
Check out my shirt.
Imoto's got a cool shirt.
West Coast Pinball Festival in Australia.
Yeah, they have a West Coast also.
I know. Everyone's like, where in California is that? Nope.
Ah, yes, Western Australia, the best state in California.
Best state in California. My mouth just exploded.
So what I just did here is I sucked the solder out, and I am going to try and clip. Ow! That hit me in the forehead. We're going to try to clip the butt of the fuse clips off without damaging the trace. And what that's going to allow us to do is, again, to try and heat and remove. Heating and removing without having that prong over the side. These are difficult to remove. This is not an easy component to get out of a board. I'll check the chat in a second in case you guys are like telling me I'm an idiot or something.
Shouldn't they be tested first to be sure they were bad?
No. All 30-year-old electrolytic capacitors are suspect. It's we know that if it's not bad now, it will be bad soon, right? This game came from some person's garage in somewhere Alabama, and it probably worked for a minute, and then people stopped playing it. And even if it did work, if it's going to go into Imoto's arcade, it will be on all the time, and it will break eventually.
That's not the name of my arcade, for the record.
No, it is. What? Tell the fine people what the name of your arcade is, Imoto.
Captain Crazy's Paradise!
Because
That's what it is.
the captain is crazy.
They call me Doodad. That's awesome.
Wow. This one really doesn't want to come out. I hate these. We're gonna add a bunch.
Safety tips for Imoto. When clipping the leads, wear safety glasses as the leads can fly up into your face or eyes when snipped. Oh yeah, thank you. Good call.
Yeah.
Who's the captain? You are the captain. He is the captain. I am the captain. She is the captain. Everyone is the captain of their own lives, and if you embrace the crazy, you'll have a lot of fun.
We the captains now. You found lots of solder?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Balls of solder.
Oh.
Little balls of solder. Goodness gracious, great balls of solder.
Oh, there we go. I just pulled the trace up on that one too.
Can I throw it?
No.
I need to use it as a ballistic test.
No.
So for those of you just joining, you keep seeing me ducking. It's because I'm looking for something on the floor.
We ripped up one of these traces on this guy here, and
We're all crazy. Yes. Go on, you're crazy.
brokified, and now we ripped up the trace as well, but it didn't come up all the way. Actually, yes, it did. Wow, this is brutalizing this power supply. It is fine. This is okay. But it's frustrating me. I wish that it was not doing this. But just, you know what? Maybe this is like the power supply that was built at 4 o'clock on a Friday, and whoever put it together was an ass and just bent everything over, and it is going to be a giant pain in the butt.
Yeah, and then he left his half-smoked cigarette in the game.
Well, I'm talking about the dude that built the power supply,
Oh,
not
okay.
the doofus that was fixing it
Who
last.
was it?
Who knows?
John Borg.
It was this guy.
Who was building the power supply in 1992 at 2 a.m. on a Friday morning.
Well, we'd have to go and email CES in South Elgin, Illinois, and see
Oh, we're just going.
who caused me all this pain. I mean, like, and this is like another thing too. Is like I definitely talk smack on as kind of a joke about like, oh, why would you ever replace a board when you can just rebuild it? Well, there is a point in time where this is just like too much of a pain in the butt, or you're going to spend too much time running your head against the wall, right? A new power supply is reliable. Not that this wouldn't be reliable once it's fixed, but a new power supply is reliable. Generally will only cost you $100 and something, right? It's like, saving yourself time, if this isn't enjoyable to you, is worth it to just replace the board. I wouldn't ever fault anyone for replacing a board in that sense. So Imoto, you want to just replace the board?
I mean, I know I would.
Yeah, that's what I said. That and the PPB board. And Kyle's like, no.
Well, we can fix it. We can fix anything. It's just a matter of do we have the time. This doesn't want to go back in.
Yeah, you got time. We got 40 minutes.
40 minutes to change the rest of these fuse clips? Oh my goodness.
Heat gun helps if you have large rounds.
Yes, it really does. What I think I'm going to try for the next one is definitely using some flux, more flux, to get them really melty. I think in lieu of having the trace for the other board, I am going to put in just a small patch wire. And try to want this trace to stay down. Maybe it's this fancy like rotisserie thing. How the hell am I supposed to use it? Makes it harder. No, I'm just kidding. It makes it easy actually.
If y'all ever see us looking towards this way, it's because we have a 50-inch monitor right there, and you can actually see it bigger here than looking over there.
And I mean, I wouldn't even say this is repairs going south, but this board is
Found everything but.
this board is starting to be it is being annoying. And if every little lead is going to be bent over, and if all of these fuse clips are going to be, you know, just buttholes, then there is it is fine to replace.
What
Just
if it went in
use
this
a new
box?
board. One thing to remember about these fuse clips too
Be careful.
is they are directional. This is the back side. It has a stopper, right? Can you see how this side, one side is very wide open? You can't really because it's too lit up, but I'm trying to.
Stand by. Hold it there. No, you're.
Yeah, so you see this side how it's like straight through and then we flip it and then it's got those stoppers. That's for the butt of the fuse. I very much remember one time installing
What of the fuse?
like the end, right? You can't slide the round fuse in through those blockers right there.
Oh, gotcha.
So I have very much not been paying attention and just autopiloting, and I've installed them backwards, and you go to put the fuses in and you're like, oh, damn, I've got them backwards. So do mind that. But you do see like how these are also straight. Whoever installed these like bent things up, and it's, damn it, things are breaking and it's annoying and I hate them.
Your part. Is it? What?
Yeah, I sent you a picture of that. That's from Kristen,
Aww.
because we helped her get her Foo Fighters in a box. And then she sent me a bunch of candy and beer from New Mexico.
I heard she sent you jerky and you ate it all.
Oh, I did.
But you were supposed to share it.
Why would I share jerky with people who didn't suffer through putting that game back in the box? If you were here, I would have shared it with you.
Savage.
I'm just saying. That was my gift, not a gift to everyone. Even though I am an egalitarian and a light socialist.
Yeah, see? Share your jerky.
Yeah, but I went through all that work, so I don't have to share it. Comrade me.
I put the fuel on.
I just want everyone to be happy and equal, that's all. But it's my jerky, damn it.
Well,
It's okay, dude. We'll fix it. I just, I have very low, there are very low chances that this board is going to go into that game today. And it really is up to you if you want to just replace the power supply. I will rebuild it, and we will have it ready to go, and it will be okay, but let's just see what we get.
pinball machines for everybody. You get a pinball machine. You get a pinball
Yes.
machine. You get a pinball. Which one do you want, Aaron? Out of this room.
I want Strikes and Spares.
Hey, you
Hell
go
yeah.
straight at it.
Yeah.
Because that's a great
It's
game.
a great game. It really is. I don't think Kyle will let you have that one.
I know.
Why is everything
I have
hard
one.
today?
I have Wipeout at my house, but
Nice.
it's my friend's. She's supposed to come get it, but I don't think she ever will.
Didn't you say you need to do work on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should bring it here for the next show.
Okay.
After Elvira's done, we should just work on Wipeout.
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
You can.
No, she can. I don't like Gottlieb games. I'm just kidding.
We need to bring
All pinballs
Mr.
created
Love.
equal, except for Gottlieb games.
what's wrong with it?
There's like a switch that doesn't register, like the jackpot switch,
Hmm.
and then one of the pop bumpers isn't working.
Oh, we
Other
can
than
fix
that,
that.
it's really,
Oh, yeah.
really simple fix.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
good.
that's simple stuff,
Yeah.
really.
That'll be fun.
Gottlieb System 3.
Wipeout.
I put it needs a new back glass, and it needs like some new stuff in there, but
Do we have it?
Yeah, we took one off of a wall in a bathroom,
Yeah.
so Aaron can have a new translate.
Oh, you
I
got
have
it?
a translate.
Oh, nice.
So what happened to the translate before is that the back box, like the back box was up against it, and the bulbs were touching the translate.
Oh, really?
So it blew. Yeah, it burned a hole in it.
Burnt it. I forget what that game looks
But it's
My
really
jerky.
good.
It's true. It is. It's my jerky.
like.
That
it's
actually
my
caused me such an
jerky.
injury.
My jerky. Everyone was so sad because it's the best jerky ever. And
My
they ate it all.
that made my
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
my knee blow out. That wasn't fun.
From
Ouch.
boxing that game up.
Yeah. It made my torn meniscus injury flare back up for like 2-3
Out of
weeks.
stock.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do something really silly. We're going to build a trace out of the old fuse clip.
Here's the show that you wanted. Who asked that earlier?
Kyle doing
What kind of black-
Stupid.
One
Wait,
find in the back.
we don't have wire.
We do have wire. We probably actually I don't know. I used to have like a big wire harness here that I'd go cut stuff off of, but it disappeared when someone came through and messed with stuff in here.
Look, it's still. What is that?
So that's part of the trace. But what I want to do is just give it something conductive to pass the current through, right? So if you don't have foil, like actual trace foil, you can kind of come up with like a little bit of a patch. Maybe or you do have to get clever when things go south. Sometimes.
I wanna move this completely over.
I really wish that I would have thought that this was going to take forever and I should have done the fuse clips off camera, but what kind of back glass does one find in bathrooms? Well, we had a wipeout back glass in a bathroom.
Well, translate.
Translate.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Oh, but it was all like the messed up.
No.
So you have that.
No, they let me trade my old one down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They made you trade it?
Yeah, I brought the old one.
Oh
back.
my god. So we can have more wipeout in the bathroom because that's totally
Where is
necessary,
it?
right?
The old one?
Yeah.
At the office.
Where? Not in the
Hunter's
bathrooms.
desk.
On Hunter's desk?
Yeah.
Above Hunter's desk?
We don't have any wire anywhere. Now I do want to use wire. Hold on, I'm going
just
exploring for
confused with the
wire.
process.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna try to use
Like,
that.
so I'll tell you, so it was hanging up on Mike's desk, so
Yeah.
he could show people what to not pick on a
Wait.
translate.
Nope. That's not it. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's
Yeah.
like a couple scratches
Like a-
on it. So.
Right.
But scratches are better than holes,
Yeah.
because we're out of stuff. We don't have it.
Yeah. Well, it's yours. We're just keeping it safe as a deco.
I just sacrificed a crappy alligator clip, and we'll see what we can do. We can get this fixed now. I'm just like frustrated and like rushing, and like
So
it
wait,
doesn't matter if I
if
rush because we
I-
can't trust this anyways.
If I found the trace, then how would we put that trace back on?
You just lay it down and solder it back in, kind of. But what this will do is like we just want to make sure that it can. We don't want to push all that GI current. I think these are GI fuses. We don't want to push all that current through just like one small space. So this extra wire is going to allow it to push that current through 2 sections.
Wear rubber shoes so you don't wipe out in the back.
Okay.
Kyle had to fix my error. That's why he disappeared for a second.
And it's not just your error. It's kind of my error too. But it also, it doesn't matter if it,
Throw it.
even if it was your error, like all of these are like this, so it's just it sucks. This power supply is now on my my S list.
I know, like I just want to find it just for the satisfaction of finding it.
It's the principle of the thing at this
It
point.
really is. Did you find your drill bit?
Oh yeah, I found that drill bit like immediately after I lost it.
You said 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later.
But that was just part of the joke. Oh god.
I know.
Wait on top of it.
What if it be on hard mode?
One thing also for people to remember is don't rush, especially when you're doing this kind of stuff. I am lightly rushing because I wanted to try and power this thing up. That's not going to happen today. So I think I'm going to get this one in, and then I'm going to finish this tomorrow.
No, you're not.
I can't do this all in 30 minutes.
Yes, you can. I believe in you.
One thing we could try doing is at least just powering it up, perhaps to check the 5 volts, but I'd rather do it all in one go instead of taking something in and out, in and out, in and out. So.
It wasn't that small.
Yeah, it wasn't that big.
Shiny and
Did you look underneath the desk that we were sitting at?
yeah.
We didn't check behind though. Like, what if you like plug it? Because I found the fuse clips, and we should have found that thing.
The fuse clip was a lot heavier, so it would have went a lot further.
Is anyone in here in this chat room? I've been very quiet. I'm sorry. Does anyone do any audio stuff? Like, is anyone like anyone have home theater sort of stuff at all? I was talking to friend of the show, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf, and we were discussing last night. I need to refoam some speakers. I was going to buy new speakers, but these I was going to buy new speakers to put in the towers that I own. But then I kind of like looked through and like I was like, oh wait, like I could probably do this myself. I'm kind of handy. I might be able to, repair these speakers, and it doesn't seem that hard. But is anyone in here an audio kind of person? Anyone ever do that job before? I'd like to get some recommendations, I suppose. Yeah, no, Imoto's totally cracking the whip. Like, yeah, you have to fix it. You can't do it tomorrow. I'm like,
No, it just needs to be fixed before I leave.
Oh, it'll be fixed before you leave for sure. But it can't be now.
We're almost there.
Oh, I've got like 8 more fuse clips to do, and this one was this much of a butthole to me.
But that's it? Just fuse clips?
Well, fuse clips, and then we can power it up, right? And it ensure that we have 5 volts, a good 5 volts, and then see what happens. Because we want to check for the high voltage and stuff like that as well.
And we could test it without removing the other fuse clips?
I mean, technically, yes, but I'd rather like do it all at one time, I think. But I don't know. I don't like that one. That one really got torn up. I'm just like crossing my fingers that all of these things aren't going to be a giant pain in the butt. This one, like the through-hole bit got really chewed up when we yanked it out. So, again, we're going to check continuity. Oh wait, this one goes to one of these guys. Yeah, okay. Yay, it's ugly, but it works.
Nice. You did
I
it.
say about you.
Yeah, same.
Actually, that looks really cool. Can you do the rest like that?
Yeah, probably. Hello, Digerati Ohm. We've been doing some fun stuff today, but reconing the
Digerati.
speakers. No, not reconing. We're going to refoam them. No cones, just the foam. The foam bit around the outside of the cone. That's what I need to replace. Look at that one. That one broke real easy.
Throw it. See how it goes.
Actually, which fuse is for the 5 volts? I mean, we could power it up. I just don't want to.
It's another fuse clip.
F2 fuses the AC. F2 is F2. Where's F2? Oh, F2's right here, and that one's not broken. So, I mean, like technically we could. I mean, do you want to? I don't want to.
Where?
Plug it in and see if we have like the 5 volts, but actually F7, F4. Oh wait, I think the sticker right here tells me what they're for. No, it just tells me what they are rated at.
Do it. Wait, what are we doing? Plugging it in?
Well,
Not
you were
plugging it.
yelling at me to plug it in, plug it in.
I don't want anything to explode.
A lot of the fuses that are broken on this thing right now are for solenoid voltage and high voltage. And honestly, the high voltage is really what I want to measure. I don't think we're going to plug it in.
We gotta fix it.
We're just going to fix the voltage. I don't want to have to unplug it, plug it, unplug it, plug it to check all these things. So it's like, it'll be fine. We've done this a million times, right? As long as the capacitors aren't backwards. So here is where we open up the show to Q&A while flustered Kyle.
Oh yeah. So, what games are y'all working on?
Yeah. Do you want to know how to like...
If you have any questions for Kyle, drop them in the chat and he will try to help you service your game.
I can try to give
On
you
the
an
fly.
answer. I've got answers. They're not necessarily good, but I might have some advice. Sometimes.
I turned that light to blind it.
Oh. Man, that upsets me. I hate having these like failures. Not failures, but I hate having to go through the rigmarole of fixing something so annoyingly sloppy, but there's nothing you can do. It's just sometimes this stuff happens. Fuse clips are not easy when they are bent over.
Kyle, is the max high voltage 110 or 220 on this board?
110.
110.
Yeah. The DMDs need like they need two high voltages. Like one is an offset of the other, I think. So it's like one is like 100, one is 112, 63 volts, 12 volts to run the DMDs. And 5 volts maybe? No, not 5 volts. Maybe actually, no, they do take 5 volts as well. These are... And this is the sort of thing, like, you have to do this. But, like, I do like to also tell people, like, at the same time, like, if it isn't screwed up, don't mess with it. Because that's a good way to cause, like, more problems or create man-made problems. You know? So, but this is, like, one of those things that's, like, a very well-documented, these are always screwed up. So, like, this is something you have to do. Now, you know, you will and can cause issues. Like, this is not an easy thing to extract from a board. This might be one of those things where, like, there are situations with some parts where using 2 soldering irons is really the jam. That's the way to go, you know?
On both sides?
Yeah, well, because there's the fuse clips go into 2 holes, and you kind of have to extract both of them. Now, the problem with these, again, is because of the God dang, is because they're twisted. When they got put through the through hole, they got twisted, and when I'm trying to extract them, it's ripping things out with it. Also, it's difficult. It's annoying using like these big metal pliers, right? When I'm applying these metal needle nose pliers, that also acts as a heat sink. It's cooling down the part. Sometimes it's a good idea just to really let the heat soak into it and then try to access it with the part really quick instead of trying to heat the pliers up, if that makes sense. Well, okay, it came out. I took I ripped the trace out, but it didn't disconnect from the board. And that's better than not. So let's examine this really quick before we go to a question. So, unfortunately, this is what happened here. Imoto's gonna mess with the exposure a little bit, but so the actual, let me try to center it more, sorry. So the foil trace has come up from the board, but it is still attached. So unfortunate, but also at least it didn't rip or cause like massive amounts of damage. So here, you want to grab that? You want to take control? So what we have here is one side of the AC comes in, or whatever these are fuses for. I think these are a high voltage fuse or solenoid fuse or something. But as long as these are still attached here, that's good. We can repair this. Unfortunately, it's not best case scenario, but if we were going to have a shit case scenario, this is the best one to have. So,
Clean your hole.
Can you move the clean the hole. Can you move the properties so I can see the top of the chat? Or yeah, I just bring that up. Pinball Magician's gonna recap a 1960s Sherwood tube amp. Super cool. I was digging through my stuff and I found a tube tester in my box of parts. So that's kind of fun.
Alright, Digerati said, I have an earth shaker that's blowing the left flipper supply fuse, but it's either intermittent or very slowly. Replace it and play a few games and it's fine. I go home and get a call the next day that it blew again. Thoughts? It's not a hard blow. You actually have to check it with a meter to know it blew.
Check the diodes on the flipper. Or just replace all the diodes. Like get in there with a screwdriver and try to pry them off the board or the flipper. And you might find that they're snapped somewhere. But use force. Like use enough force to try and break them yourself. If it's a good diode, it'll be fine. But if you stick a screwdriver in there and pry it up, you might notice a very clean break.
And CMK said, I had an intermittent that ended up being a ball blocking wire popped out and fell in the swing switch area.
Huh.
So do a good search for any missing metal pieces.
The flippers are fused individually though, like left and right. So that can, usually when flipper fuses blow, you've either got a coil that's so shorted, right, that it's going to explode. The end of stroke switch never opens, which is another thing to check, and it blows. Or you've got bad diodes. What's that one? Law Talking Guy 69. Kyle, best way to diagnose an Iron Maiden scoop under the Faro ramp, not working or registering. Check the switch. Stern uses a unfortunate micro switch in a lot of the scoops, and the wires. The leads are generally short coming out of the bottom of the micro switch, and I think like the way that they're soldered like just compromises them and they break off a lot. So the game is going to respond to input. So put it in switch test, put a ball in the scoop. Does it register? Yes or no, well then that's how you're going to have to proceed, right? But make sure that the wires are still attached. What I'll find a lot of the time is the little actual prong that it is attached to on the switch comes off the switch body. It's not used, I have to replace it. In my Deadpool, I keep like 4 or 5 of those switches just to have on hand. When I had it on location, that was a very common, hey, it's broken, and you just have those switches on hand. So. But check that. That is, it's likely a switch. That's a very common issue, and you'll be able to get it. But always remember to check with a ball too, right? If you push it with your finger, that's going to exert force on it that a ball could never exert. So you might find that if the switch is out of adjustment or whack or something like that, using your finger it might work, and then you go play it, it won't work because the ball is exerting different force onto it. So. But to me, that sounds like a switch issue, my friend. All right. I got another one, and that one wasn't so bad. Still hate it, though. I hate how it's insulting me on my show and causing it to look silly, and I'm going to make it look silly, but at least it works and it'll be good. I'm just gonna add a little solder on the top side, which is kosher, but generally it looks kind of ugly, but if it works and it's ugly, it's fine. And the reason we're doing this again, all Data East power supply, every single Data East game you own is suspect in the fuse clip department. There is a certain era, or there's a certain time when they became less suspect later, but they are all suspect, especially the early games, So take a look-see. Imoto seems like she's like pacing.
No,
You stressed because you can't find that thing?
No, I'm just health inspector texts.
Oh.
The things.
Not because it's gross, just because they're asking for something unreasonable. Let's preface it there.
Yeah, no.
Captain
it's
Crazy's Paradise is not a dumpster.
No. I mean, we're building right now, so I designed the layout and now I have to change it because the health inspector doesn't like it.
Well, you don't want to get on the health inspector's bad side, so I definitely...
Just-
It sucks. Watch out, soldering iron. Careful. Careful. Don't do it.
Don't eat it.
Still working on my Big Valley EM and want to verify the power's coming in good before messing with the...
That's a cool burn column.
No, I would just plug it in and not worry about it. The if the power's not coming in good, you'll blow fuses, and it's fine. Or you just remove all the fuses and then test for the prescribed voltages that are shown on the schematic, right? But you're fine. You're not going to hurt anything. Transformers are generally reliable, so I would not worry about it too much. If you were to turn on your EM though, and you want to make sure you're not going to damage anything, just turn it on and listen for it to break. Right? I mean, turn it on and listen for something to get locked on, right? If you hear a coil absolutely locked on when you turn the game on, there could be a problem. Now, that being said, most EM games will have a lock relay that is always energized, and they can be pretty buzzy when they start to get old. But I wouldn't. But again, it's like you're wishing for like other coils to lock on. If the lock relay is on, that's fine. It's other coils that you have to be careful about. And I heat this sucker up. I added fresh solder. Oh my goodness. It came out. We had one easy one. One easy one. Yay. I deserve a beer, but we don't have any beer, so I can't have one. But anyways, it's fine. No, I drank the last one last time I was here. When we wrapped on Saturday or Friday.
Working on electronics is if you release the factory installed smoke.
That is true. Draugr, I got your message on Discord, but I forgot to respond to it. And I think, wait, hold on. Oh, God. Oh, my driller's loop. Oh, no, it exploded. It's okay. It does that. Where's all the plastics and crap for Elvira that we were throwing around?
They're over there.
I didn't throw them.
No, this was an errant pile.
Yes.
Do y'all want to get the first reveal of my logo for Captain Crazy's Paradise?
Oh, hell
Whoa.
yes.
I had Randy Martinez design it, draw it out for us. He is the artist for Mandalorian and Star Wars Comic Bingo.
And he's super cool and kind of went on tour with us for a few shows live for the last few years. Before you do that, hold on, Draugr.
Draugr.
I believe you were asking for this.
Is that what he
This
needs?
will cost you $50. You have to PayPal me $50. No, I'm just kidding. You can have it. Send me your address and I'll send it to you. This
Dang,
was
I
the
thought
one
he
that I
was
actually
serious.
really wanted to keep, but you can totally have it. So
Okay, look.
send me your address and I'll send it to you. Now let's
Go
look
to
at
the
Imoto's
close-up.
logo.
Does that work? Go to the close-up screen.
Oh,
Wait.
sick.
I don't know if you guys, hold on. I can make it darker here.
Explain the imagery for us.
Yeah, so we're gonna have golf simulators, all the Japanese Bimani games. So we have like the Dance Dance Revolution, Arrows, the classic arcade games. So we kind of have the Pac-Man dots up there, and then of course the pop bumper and drop target teeth for the pinball.
And what about the golf?
Yeah, we'll have a couple golf simulator bays like you would see at the PGA store.
Oh, cool.
It's so rad.
Yeah, Randy Martinez, man. He's so amazing. Look at that. And of course, I have a black and white version. He put a gold tooth in there with a little ching. It's great. And that's my Japanese, our family symbol.
There's
Little
so
pop
much.
bumper. I know, pretty cool, right?
Explain, if you want to, the what is like
This
Captain
here?
Crazy Productions? Because CCP is not the Chinese Communist Party, right? What is CCP?
Captain Crazy Productions. Yeah, that's my video production company that I run out of Atlanta. And we do commercials, movies, pretty much anything you need video production wise. That I started with my brother in 2008. Yeah. And that's actually how I started traveling around the U.S. Doing cinematography, and my brother is a sound guy. He could probably answer your question for the sound thing, but he's not in the chat.
It's okay. He's probably busy.
And I started, the very first arcade I found was Galloping Ghost Arcade in 2011, and it blew my mind that arcades were making a comeback. So every time I went to a different city, like working with Red Bull or something like that, I'd find the local arcade, do a little video and being like, you guys have to come support this place. And now it's just almost every major city has an arcade, bar, or something like that, if not multiple. And it's amazing. Best places ever.
It's must be hard to see Galloping Ghost first and not be like let down by every other arcade you go to after.
No, because it's just exciting,
It's
right?
so wild though. The Galloping
know.
Ghost is insane.
It was like, yeah, it pulled on all your heartstrings. You're like, oh my god, they have this game. I haven't seen this since like the 90s. Then I just started like looking up arcades. So I was doing a shoot in Pennsylvania, and one of my first interviews was with Todd Tuckey. Even before I was into pinball. So we were doing the interview standing on a Dance Dance Revolution machine. And then Timeline Arcade and Yestercades up there were free play arcades that just also were just sort of starting up, and then it's just
It's just wild.
just crazy.
It's wild.
Support your local arcade. That's
Yes.
the moral of the story.
Yeah, Jay Crane, go support your local coin
Yeah.
up arcade that opened up. And you can't say barcade because that's trademarked and you'll
Yeah,
get sued.
that's
so
why
don't
you
call
say
it a
arcade
barcade.
bar.
Yeah.
Can't use the word barcade.
And honestly, barcades, it kind of
Barcade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's really lame to
I
trademark.
think they started up in like New York or Chicago area or
something.
something.
It's really lame to trademark like two words that you combine to make something. Like
Or
I've always-
very smart.
Yeah, I mean it's smart, but it's like I've always hated that term anyways. Like I don't know
We
why.
trademarked everything pinball. So technically, we can
that's
sue
a
Kerry
company-
Hardy every time he says it on his show. Just
Can
kidding.
you, though?
We love Kerry.
Like I don't know.
Maybe.
I think isn't that kind of stuff like I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to ever be a lawyer either. But
Barcade. For dogs.
I like that. That's great.
That would be awesome. Pinball and dogs.
The
Favorite thing.
or it's like you know what I always hated too, and this is not trademarked, but I hate man cave.
Man cave?
I hate man cave.
The
like
he shed, she shed.
I don't know why. There's like certain things that really like.
We call our man cave the pit because
Yeah.
it's not like it's both of our.
That's
cave.
cool. It's
The-
like
the pit.
it's just like I don't know why that really irks me. I mean I'm a weird person.
Man bun. I hate man
Well,
bun. Says Digerati.
I don't think anyone likes a man bun.
No, they're called top knots,
Top
and
knots.
samurais and other
yes.
ancient warriors wore their hair that way.
Yes, but San Francisco tech bros like wearing cardigans and like drinking $15 coffees are not samurais, so they cannot rep the man bun.
Oh.
You have to be a sweet samurai to do that, right? I don't know.
Oh.
I think it's just like I don't know. I don't know why that really irks me. I mean I'm a weird person.
No, they're called top knots, and other
Yes, but San Francisco Imoto's like, shut the hell up.
I'm
More top
confused.
nuts?
What did you say? I got lost.
But you have it. When's the last time you were in San Francisco? Like every techie dork has a friggin' top knot man bun goofy thing. Whatever. I'm being
It's not
hateful now.
goofy.
It is goofy when you're a dork. It's not. It is super not goofy when you're a fearsome
Long
samurai.
hair gives you superpowers. It's your feelers into the universe. Look it up.
I think it comes with you have to have a aura to back up that top knot. Here, do you want maybe
A
we just
samurai would not call his a man bun. Yeah, that's true, Didgerati. They would call it a top knot.
That's right. Top knot.
Actually, they would call it a warrior knot.
Oh, she's a warrior.
Hey
knot.
Kyle, how do you like working on that board stand? I've been thinking of picking one up.
I've owned this thing for like over 10 years and I've never ever used it, and now I'm using it and I'm kind of like,
This is great.
it's actually not the worst thing. Why don't I use this thing?
Why haven't we've done this show for 2 years? It's the first time I've seen it.
I've never used
It's
it.
good to help. It's helping us get good shots.
I think that's really the thing that is kind of blowing me away. Is it's a lot easier to show off the shot. I don't know why I've never really used it. I think it's because actually, to be honest, a lot of pinball boards don't fit in this either. So like, I'd rather just turn it over and use it on my.
Roller Pinball said, "Have you ever seen a dog play DDR? They pretty much sleep on it." That checks out.
Have you ever seen
Especially our office dog, Charles. He would definitely take a nap on the
You'd be
DDR.
like, "Ah, nah."
And then eat my hamburger. Which he did today.
My cat's like sleeping on my pinball games. That's for saying sure.
Aw.
Yeah, it looks great to hold a good shot. I agree.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing ever. I also am embarrassed because this is frustrating, but we're getting it. That's why I'm bringing out all my like hot takes of man buns and stuff. Anyways,
Say
oh,
bye to River Rat.
River Rat, bye River Rat.
That's Jimmy.
Thanks for joining. We're gonna probably end this sometime soon, and I'll finish this
Yes,
tomorrow.
We are 4 minutes from raiding
Oh yeah,
somebody.
who are we gonna raid? I'm excited to see Manu in real life, like next week.
Oh, I know. He's not going to Golden State.
He isn't?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't he not go?
I just made that up.
Don't disappoint me.
Don't disappoint.
I love Manu.
Don't make me demon watch.
I really want to try to fix this for Imoto, so I'm going to. God, this thing is a nightmare, dude. These are some of the worst fuse clips I've ever had to take out of this damn board.
Someone playing Pocahontas
What?
on the pinball channel?
Like the video game?
No, it's like saying the movie.
That is not the Pocahontas
Original.
I remember
Ew,
seeing.
what did they do?
They're eating it.
This is not Pocahontas.
That is not Pocahontas. This is like something like semi-demonic. They're watching Twitch streams now.
Does that look like a Native American?
They're having a good time.
Depends on which DC era. Bugs Bunny's birthday bash.
Bugs Bunny's birthday ball? That's a great pinball game. I just bought the back glasses for those things at CPR, so we can carry them in our store so all the like 2 people that have a Bugs Bunny's birthday ball can get a new back glass for their game.
Really? I've never seen that.
I thought it was birthday bash.
I think everyone thinks it's birthday bash, but it's actually birthday ball.
No way. It's one of those
Damn it!
Berenstain Bears things.
Yeah, Mandela effect.
Mandela effect. Is it really birthday ball?
I don't know. I've never
Go on
seen
IPDB.
it.
I'm
I've
pretty
never
sure
heard
it is.
I didn't know they had a Bugs Bunny game.
Or bring my chat back,
It has
because
carrot flippers.
yeah, it has the carrot flippers. That's what the orange ones with the ridges are for.
What?
Yeah, you know what?
I've never seen this beautiful piece of kinetic art. See what I did there?
It's Bugs Bunny birthday ball! Whoa.
Isn't that rad?
That is
a terrible game. Actually, no, it's not. It's great, but it's really goofy.
No.
Carrot flipper.
We sell those.
Yeah.
I always wondered, I was like, what kind of game do these go on? No freaking way. I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, they're pretty rare.
It might be one of those games like
That looks fun though. Not bad.
Very silly.
Yeah.
Keith. No, you know what's cool about it is it's actually got a reversed play field. So underneath, you shoot the ball underneath, and you have to shoot the ball back towards yourself, like towards the flipper, right?
Oh yeah, I see up here.
Oh.
It's gonna drain unless you hit it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty novel.
Tasmanian Shepherd.
Oh.
Keith brings his to the Houston show every year.
Well, I didn't go to that one this
But you've been to it?
This will be my second year working.
Aaron came to Texas with us in 2021. A fine year for Texas Pinball Festival.
We're going for funsies.
Teresa?
It almost wants to shut down.
No, I can't go to the
Everyone's taking PTO to go to Houston because they're not actually.
I mean, that sounds fair to me. What's the chat
We
saying?
might as well do the show then.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit of malicious compliance.
We gotta wait.
We just all show up there with everything.
What's the chat saying? What's the chat saying? They're like, why are we even here? No one's responding to me. Oh, here.
Oh, Golden State. Yeah, Golden State did have a bug staple. Hi, DeWisp.
Yo.
Buddies living under fishtails.
Oh, that's fun.
21 on the first. Raven is 10 times better than Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, well, Night Moves, the cocktail game, is 10 times better than Raven. We can go at this all day.
I love the backlash art on Raven.
Raven's great.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny's fun because of that novel, like, backwards playfield, though.
I like stuff like that. I like Halloween, you know?
Mm.
How they have the weird pop-up balls.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's so much fun.
Yeah, weird stuff in pinball is great. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why, like, Foo Fighters is so dang well received, right? There's just a lot of oddity in it that, you know.
Yeah, like the ramps are just unusual. The loops are unusual.
Oh, bye, Jogger. Thank you for the bits.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thank you. Yeah, that's your payment. You have to pay me bits, and I'll send you that Elvira plastic. So.
Oh, they probably went through what? Have so much going on.
Ay, ay, ay. This power supply is the bane of me. I hate it. It makes me look like an amateur.
I really can't believe we couldn't find that photo. Like, I'm pretty decent. Not even compared to St. Anthony. No. It freaks me out.
Have you ever seen his toes?
Hey, where's my chat? Where's my camera?
Overhanging nails. Oh, sorry.
Imoto's walking away whispering things, talking about what a
Pulls out
doofus I am.
What we have here.
21
What do you think the next band pin will be that's 90s or later?
Ooh,
Nirvana.
Tool.
No, I don't think
Ooh,
they'll do
Tool.
Nirvana.
Tool. The visuals in Tool would be so awesome, though.
John Borg is going to say.
Oh yeah, because John Borg loves Tool so
Yeah.
much too.
John Borg is going to be like, I quit unless I can make Tool because I got to make Rush. And then he'll make it and he'll quit. And it'll be his perfect magnum opus.
Let's see 90s.
I want to see Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I was just about to say Red Hot Chili Peppers would
Yeah.
be cool.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a.
Or a Fallout Boy.
Oh my god.
Early 2000s.
Beastie Boys?
Beastie Boys.
A Beastie Boys should happen. I mean, that's a given. Like it is almost a crime that that doesn't exist.
Everyone wants Wu-Tang pinball. Does that count?
I mean, that would be great too. Yes, it would.
Wu-Tang Pinball ain't nothing.
Yes, Aaron.
Finish that line.
Bastard.
Why is it like that?
They're just hard to take out. using 2 irons would make this a bit easier.
Oh.
This one's not even bent over, but it's just being a jerk. The thing is too is like these are the frustrations of working on 30-year-old circuit boards, right? I think the thing is like, at least these are they're relatively easy to work on because the traces are big, and when you pull them up, you can repair them, like I have been.
Soundgarden pinball.
Oh, that would be cool.
Jawbreaker pinball, like the movie?
Yes, Jawbreaker pinball.
Dang. All right.
We need Punked pinball.
Yeah.
Mike
Alright.
Vinacore and I are gonna make that.
Oh, Blink-182.
Oh my god.
That would be, come on, that would be like
Fark.
a great game.
It would
You
be-
could do
it would
so
be
much
fun.
with the artwork and stuff for that.
Some 41 pinball.
Yeah.
Hey now, hey now. Wait, that's
That's
not
Smash
Smash
Mouth.
That's Smash Mouth. Some 41. Oh, what was the during the boxing match? That Michael Jackson song they redid. That was some 41, right?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't really into pop punk stuff when I was younger.
What was
I was more into like listening
that
to
music video was playing over and over and over again in the late.
It's the song called
90s
Fat
or
Lip.
something. Yeah, it is Fat Lip.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's good.
Forget about the things I said when I was drunk.
Didn't mean to call you that.
Aren't they from Canada?
Oh, I have that on Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band. That's why.
Oh, I almost forgot that you had Rock Band, and we need to do Rock Band sometime.
We stream a Rock
You
Band.
actually have Rock Band,
Yeah.
and you have the drum kits and everything.
I had 2 guitars and a mic.
I mean, that's like the #1 reason I'm coming to Southern Fried this year is to be able to play in the Rock Band
Well,
thing
if we're
again.
gonna play, I want to play because what's his name was like playing. I think I want to say it was maybe I can't remember, but they were just crushing it, and I was like embarrassed to go play. I was like, I'm not. going
No,
up
we
there.
should
What?
set it up here and do it after the All Hands,
Oh, we can do that.
and have a Rock Band pinball party after our All Hands in July.
I gotta
For
fix
Q3.
the other. We gotta fix the other guitar because that one finally broke, Kyle.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it on PinTech.
Yeah, actually, that sounds really fun.
After hours Rock Band, yeah. Fastest way to get DCMA. Stream Rock Band.
After hours Rock Band stream.
I'll
I
do
set
it.
up Rock Band for a few months ago for my kids and me. Nice. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I got it helping a friend move, and he was gonna throw it away, and I said, hell no.
Wow.
Don't throw it away.
I need to fix. I have a Guitar Hero guitar, like an Xbox 360 one. I need to fix it and then get my Guitar Hero. I have an Xbox One that I keep just to play Guitar Hero. I'd like to get another one though.
So much fun.
When Eska and I lived in California still. Oh, I just doxed my wife. Oh, that's fine.
You can get
We used to play it all the time, and she started to like really enjoy it. I really want to get the coin-op Guitar Hero super bad.
Oh, I would love one of those.
They
That's
have-
like 15
We have a
grand.
Guitar
Yeah.
Freaks, but it's a bit different than Guitar Hero. I still prefer Guitar Hero, but
There's a Rock Band one too, but I'm pretty sure.
arcade? Rock Band arcade?
Maybe there used to be. Probably just Guitar Hero.
There's someone like hacked the.
Because there's 2 different songs, like, because the songs are different.
Yeah, the songs are
Yeah.
different. What is it? Think this is Star Wars Data East. Yes, this is Star Wars Data East, 1992. Designed by John Bork.
That's true. The whatchamacallit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, one of my friends has a Guitar Hero, like a coin-op Guitar Hero video game, and there's like a version of the software you can load in that's like hacked that allows you
Ooh,
to
a
add
first
like
time
whatever
try?
song you want. So there's like there's a huge community online that like make all sorts of Guitar Hero songs and stuff like that. I think they kind of work in Rock Band too. I don't know a lot about it, but I really want to check that out.
I'm such a fan
Thank you.
of you, Kyle.
Oh
Caution.
yes. Oh god.
Hey, if anyone sees Jack Danger, tell him to respond to me. Oh, I'm just gonna jump on his stream tonight, Kyle.
Oh, that was a good.
While
idea.
sitting in a bar with Ryan Cravens. How's that for pressure?
I texted him the other day.
First
and
time
he didn't hit me
chatter. Rock, what is it? Rock Bubbles? I touch bubbles? Wait, but then they pop?
Not when you're skillful, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta get all the songs.
Oh, I hate
But
these
I'll-
things.
Never got my Data East Star Wars working and had to sell it.
Aw.
That's actually what happened on how I bought it. This guy, he had it for about 10 years or more, and it's never worked for him. So he was finally just like, I need this out of my garage. So I was like, cool, we'll fix it, and you can come play it at the arcade down the street anytime you want. And I gave him a lifetime membership.
There you go. Benevolent. Oof, that's ugly. That's fine though. It's
We'll get a fan next time.
I'd like to actually get a fan in here. It sucks to solder
Yeah,
so much without a
copyright.
fan.
Copyright laws.
Yeah, we would absolutely
Yeah.
get screwed if we ever tried to stream that, but
It'll be fun.
it's my favorite game. I really kind of am sad that those like rhythm-based games like that really went out of style, because they're really cool. I think it's just one of those things where it's like the EA factor, right? Or whatever company published that stuff is like, oh, this sold really well, so all the big suits were like, let's keep making them. Let's make more and more and more, because obviously if we make more, we'll sell more. And then everyone got super sick of it. And
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, we're about to have so many narrative pinball movies coming out.
really?
Since Man Who Saved Pinball, now like 2 different productions shot at Portal Pinball in Georgia.
That wasn't a TV show? I thought he was filming an episode of a TV show.
There,
Or is that
well,
something
I don't know what the actual content
Oh, okay,
format is, but it's fiction. It's not documentary, right?
Oh.
Which is the key
Interesting.
and awesome. Konami, yeah, it's Konami. It does all the Bimani games, or most of the Bimani games.
I saw those posts Brian was making about all the film stuff. That was really cool
I know
to
it's
see.
fun.
Okay, I soldered one of these in like so crooked that it's embarrassing. So what I'm gonna do now is try to put fuses in them to straighten them out. Oh God, what is? Oh, I didn't unsolder that one.
Oh,
That's
that
why
was
it
the
looks.
last one. Yeah.
This is the last one that it was original. Damn it! I thought I was done.
It was so close. Uno más, uno más. Oh, we should make that bigger for you, Kyle. How do you even see that?
What?
The chat
I can't. It's really hard.
decided on the dimensions of standard pinball ball.
I think they someone used a inexpensive ball bearing and then no one ever changed.
Yeah, DDR pads. I'm gonna train my mom how to properly clean DDR pads. My brother just souped ours up, and it plays so nice. You like barely have to tap
Oh,
the
nice.
arrows.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's so good, but it's gonna get dirty so fast.
What kind of switches are those in the DDR pads
I
again?
think they're optos. I'm not sure. No, I don't know.
I thought
just
that
made
they
up.
were. I thought
I
that
have
those
not
things
seen it.
were. Damn it! It's like a. What do they call those things? Like a membrane switch? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
What is it? Insane in a membrane.
Insane.
Oh, insane. I knew that.
Thank you for all the pop culture goodies.
So the Star Wars Data East that I had, it just wouldn't turn on. That's as far as I got it. I literally just got the game, sent Kyle's pictures, and I was coming up to the shop. So he's just like, bring the boards, let's do it on the show. The power supply board definitely had the
Oh, I'll take it.
all the connectors. A lot of the connectors were burnt.
Yeah.
And then the PPB board had some rectifiers burnt off.
Resistors.
Resistors burnt off.
We're missing some resistors, but we can fix them. Everything can be fixed.
And now
This-
I know how to do it.
Well, yeah, this is hard, and it's practicing is good,
Yeah.
and you guys are gonna practice. One day,
Yeah.
when I come down to the arcade when it's open,
Which is soon.
which
Before
is
it's
hopefully
open.
soon, or before it's
Somehow.
open, I'm going to come down and I'm gonna give everyone there a crash course in this stuff. So your
I'm
dad
gonna
better
do
be
a
ready.
huge tech party. Everyone come,
Yeah, oh, that'd be cool.
and then we're just gonna have a huge tech party. All of our tech friends, all at once.
Fix all my machine.
Yeah. Fix the machines.
Hey, can your uncle come and like make us
feed
sushi?
You, we'll drink you. Wait. We'll save you drinks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Imoto's family is
We'll
also
lodge
vampires,
You.
so
We'll lodge you. 4 for each square in the pad. So 16 total
what is it? What?
for the
It's
dance
a membrane
dance.
switch.
They are long membrane switches. Okay, thank you.
Membrane.
That's what I thought. So
I
membrane
just
switch
made it
is like you know, like an ATM pad or something like that, where you push on like a soft switch and it just
Yeah.
kind of that's a membrane switch.
Ah.
That was a big solder snake that came out of the
Oh,
sucker.
is that it? Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's like
It's like a turd.
that's what would clog the toilet. Oh my God, that's the biggest solder turd I've ever seen.
That's a good one. Oh, I hate these
All the
things.
way
I'm so
from-
mad. I'm glad you guys get to watch me sit here and be pissed. I'm not talking. I'm just
Toto
like,
Puffs. Toto Puffs.
Toto Puffs. What's
Wait.
Toto Puffs say?
Who is that? How do you know about Toto Puffs? I can't read it.
I can't read either.
I don't know. Toto Puffs are up for dispute right now because of Alabama.
What?
Clean your hole, Imoto. No, Kyle's cleaning my holes for me. I'm just fanning him while he does it.
She's trying to make me not get like solder death. Solder death syndrome.
Hold on, I gotta tilt it.
Yeah, I'm also like putting my hands right in front of the damn camera.
No, you're.
There's just one more of these things
I
left
touch
and
bubbles?
I'm almost done.
Oh, well, I read I Touch Bubbles earlier. I didn't really. I thought that was a funny name because if you touch bubbles, that means you're murdering them.
So how do I switch to
Yeah,
the
I don't
other
know why it keeps doing that. Doubling the camera.
This is a hard one to do because the trace is so fat where I'm soldering right now. So it's just like a massive heat sink and I really don't want to tear the
side? Oh, okay.
through hole, fill it out.
Yeah.
I kind of like need to turn my soldering iron up maybe, but I think this might work.
I sometimes use solder wood to get the most of the heavy stuff off, then do solder wood.
Yeah, the problem is you kind of need the solder to lube the fuse holder out.
I can smell that through the screen. Yeah, wait. I Touch Bubbles was supposed to shoot some pigs over here.
What? What is going on?
I don't know.
Pigs.
Why
Parts in games.
is Touch Bubbles shooting pigs?
I Touch Bubbles needs to come shoot pigs. Parts in games. That's our acronym for our product photos of in-game photos, not just on the white background. We call them pigs.
Okay.
We just made it up.
Wait, is that Serene?
Is it?
Yeah. It's Serene.
I just-
Because she's a bubble murderer.
It is right?
Bubble murderer.
Yeah, respect the bubble, Serene. What are you doing? You need to get Serene over here to work on games.
I know.
She wouldn't do it.
I know.
It's
We
fine.
almost got her to come to the studio.
Okay, I got it out. I didn't murder it, like Serene murders bubbles. It's rude. I'm gonna fill it with some solder, then suck the solder. I definitely deserve the cheeseburger and all of the whiskey I'm going to drink tonight now.
Transmission. Will you change that bridge also? Will we change the bridge?
I won't change the bridge because someone has changed it. Unless I need to, I am not going to remove more large, annoying components to take out of circuit boards.
It's okay, Serene. The racks look awesome. I like the color coding.
I wish Serene was here. She's hilarious.
Has anybody seen the bridge?
Muffin Man?
Anyone seen the bridge? Oh, the bridge. Yeah, this bridge. Someone wrote 35 amps on it, just in case you forgot that it was a 35 amp rectifier.
Yeah.
Okay, where's my delicious beverage? Can I have a sip? I deserve
Absolutely.
it. Thank you, miss. Sorry, not to sound demanding. It's like, where's my beverage?
I think you need a koozie, otherwise we'd have to be mature. reading.
Here. God damn it, son of a gun.
I'll be like this. Don't look. Don't look at the camera. Look at this schematic.
I mean, this is just a delicious
Like, I do this all the time.
carbonated beverage.
Kyle's hydrating.
I love Coca-Cola. I actually don't. I hate Coca-Cola. I don't like any soda except for Dr.
Brown
Pepper.
soda.
Dr. Pepper is the
That's
jam.
southern.
Cheerwine's pretty good. That's about as southern as I can be. I like Cheerwine.
Fetch
That's
my
a really-
refreshments
that's a
away,
really cool
Serene. Did you see what she
Yeah.
did?
This is why I love Serene so much.
Marked 35 amps.
No!
Oh,
It fell.
no!
I got it so hot it fell out. It doesn't matter.
I see it.
Don't touch it if you see it.
No, I don't see
Here
I
it.
think it's right by your shoe.
I want to touch that poop.
I can't wait to wash my hands. You know what? F it. We've run over. Imoto, we're going home right after this, right? Okay. Let's just do it. Let's turn the damn camera around. We'll stuff it with some fuses. We're going to put this in the game.
Look how big this is.
A fat solder turd.
I want to turn it this way.
Yeah, we're just going to point the game at Monday Night Football, and we're going to power it up and see
Don't eat it.
What?
what kind of voltages we get, since I was able to get them out finally.
The fourth wall has been broken.
And that's fine. It's happened once or twice, but now it's officially broken in official capacity. Emoto's stressed out. She's like, no,
Yeah, basically. Monday Night Football.
not the fourth wall. Well, hold on. I need fuses and stuff first.
I
Jeez.
know. We took all the lighted cameras away from Kyle, but he's still working.
That's fine. At least the lights are on.
Yeah. Nice.
This is probably the most chaotic PinTech.
It's been crazy.
This is like either the most chaotic that's ever existed,
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm in town.
or it's like it is just extra chaotic because it's funny. We're doing silly stuff, and this game is trying to absolutely destroy me. This power supply is pissing me off.
Oh my gosh, Kyle.
What?
Are you almost done?
Yes, I'm almost done. I want to go too, but
No, I mean, I'm excited. I just saw what time it was. And
I
I was
also-
like,
I mean, dude, I want to go
Yeah.
home. I'm gonna start.
Also,
You can leave.
You can leave whenever you want, dude.
no.
Okay, well, I give you all the permission to come in. Every minute you stayed over today, you can come in later tomorrow. I give you that permission,
And then your manager will be really upset.
and I don't care. They can come kiss my
I
butt.
technically don't have one.
So you're not working on it?
No, I am. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm your manager now.
Kyle's manager. Oh, God. Just-
Going long today.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a good manager. I'd be a good manager. You'd just be like, what do I need to do?
Kyle actually is a really great leader.
Do your work, and when you're done, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a 5 amp fuse, a 5 amp slow blow. There has to be around here somewhere.
Okay.
In your drawer.
Well, I've got one in my parts box. I just don't really want to go out to my car right now, so let's go and look for some fuses. Thanks for sticking around, you nerds. Finish my refreshments, winch. Serene's too funny.
Get ready for the fire extinguisher.
No.
No.
We'll just blow fuses up. We're all good.
Where do you keep the fuses, Kyle?
I don't know. They used to be
All
over
your
here.
fuses belong to us.
It might be some of these boxes.
Wait, did we ever turn off the music?
Oh, just. I need a 5 amp slow.
Alright, so, y'all. Hi. I might have to be a translator because that is shooting all the way over there. We are using our faithful Yeti mic right now, and it may or may not pick up Kyle. So just stand mizzle, and we shall shizzle. Any fuses in here? Ooh. A micro. SD card. Ooh. Oh, when Kyle won the Mark Award. Seek ownership, prioritize community and family, and have intentional fun for PinTech Lab. What else does he have in here? He's got a rum. A LED flicker eliminator kit that we were going to do a show on.
Oh shit.
Name that game. Oh, name that game. Do you know what Drop Targets this is from? Aaron? Anyone? No one in the chat has said it yet.
Okay. I guess we need to turn that microphone too.
Yeah, we're gonna turn the microphone.
It's only slightly ugly, but it's fine.
Alright, turn the camera. Let's see.
Where's a flat cake? There's a flat cake.
Jungle Lord? Jungle Lord. I think so. Jungle Princess? Wait, Kyle, what game did we work on again?
Oh,
Shish kebab? Turtles?
What?
Turtles? Oh, don't zoom in on Hart. He's gonna do Monday Night Football. Not
No. We're gonna do turtles.
Turtles.
I think turtles has the right voltages at least. I forgot. We can run it, I think, in Monday Night Football, but it's weird with the high voltage stuff because this one doesn't use the same voltages. I think small DMD games use the same voltages.
You
So.
guys can kind of hear him.
Kind of hear me?
Oh, Kyle.
Why did someone do it correctly? What?
I think it's from Jungle Lord. Yeah.
Jungle
There's a
Lord.
Jungle Lord right there. Oh, that's almost cheating. I was holding up the drop target with Jungle Lord right behind me.
I need to finish fixing that just a little bit. It needs like some tweaking. Like a couple things need adjustments, and that thing actually plays pretty good. And I never installed the NVRAM or batteries in it, so I just kind of don't even play it because I have to go through the audits every time. Anyways, okay. I need a screwdriver because this should be grounded.
Baby one?
Phillips or Flathead?
Phillips, please, sorry.
Here. Number 1, 2, or 3?
Two. And my voltmeter. And we might not be able to actually even see anything, which is kind of...
Hold on, I'll walk the camera over. Alright, stand by now. Just do one of these. Oh,
How far can we move in? And then we just need someone to hold the insert open a little bit, I think, but...
we're on a field trip.
Yeah. So we're gonna just plug in the AC power supplies and just measure voltages and see what happens. We're not actually gonna power the game up.
Can I replace those screws holding the board with the little like plastic things where you just push it in?
No, you gotta use screws because that is how it grounds to the back.
It's so annoying.
It really is annoying, but it does provide a good, solid path to grounds. So there's one right there. Now I'm rushing. I'm just like running through this trying to get it done. I got records to listen to, and I kind of wanted to go to the wine store before we went out tonight. But I guess I'm totally capable of going to the wine store this weekend. But so whose is that?
Lids.
I mean, it's fine, I guess, because it's like as long as it's put on the side that says.
It's just, why would they put it on the side with the pallet sitting
Because
like
it's
that?
a crappy carrier, but
So sad.
yeah, that's dumb.
Okay, it's okay.
As long as they put it on the side that said truck this side, and then it's fine. All right, Serene, what's the chat saying?
Serene,
All right,
Aaron.
Aaron. Serene.
Wow.
Sorry, I was thinking about Serene saying stupid stuff.
Over or under if it's going to pop? Anyone? There's 46 of you in here. We should get wireless mics like pop stars at concerts. Serene said that.
We actually have some. But also, it would be humorous if we would have thought about that and done a poll, and then did say, people say, it's going to work, it's not going to work. But it's going to be fine.
It's gonna work.
I just want to make sure that we have, that the voltages are happy. This is like the 9,000.
Driver said, I don't think it'll pop.
Yeah, no, it'll be.
Serene said, I'm flattered to be thought of.
Millionth time I've done this. That connector's a little crap, but it's okay. We don't have that wafer connector in stock, so I'll have to send it to you and figure it out. Cool, okay. We'll find some ground somewhere. Let's use this convenient ground strap. Okay, Imoto, would you please turn the game on? Actually, I can turn it on. That's it. All right, so we watch for fuses to explode, and we watch for capacitors to explode. Nothing. Well, that's good, because also we wouldn't have, most fuses wouldn't blow anyways, because nothing is hooked up. So, we have, at the top I have test points, so we've got 5 volts.
Yay!
Yay, I have 5 volts. It's a little low, 5.07, but that's fine. Negative 12, I have negative 14, but since it's unregulated, that's fine. Negative, the 12 volts unregulated is 13.92, that's fine. So that's fantastic. High voltages though, I don't remember where I can measure those test points. Can you bring me the schematic, Aaron?
Got it, sir.
Please. That's good. At least you have new filter caps, new fuse clips, so your computer should run. And on it, we could boot this computer up. I just need to figure out, I forget which plug is for the display. I don't remember if this display runs on the same voltages as the big DVD. I'm pretty sure it does. But I think if this is the one I need to plug in, and that'll power the computer up. So like, for giggles, I want to measure the high voltage.
I don't know if this is the right one.
Yeah.
That's fine, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it like folds up.
Okay.
I just put that. That was the, what were you fanning him with?
Yeah, I was like,
GI plus 12. Okay, so connector 5, CN5 is where the high voltage comes out.
I said, is it plugged in?
CN5 is way in the corner. The top pin is 8. So CN5, CN5. I hate you, CN5. You're so far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It says pin 7 is key. Yep, because 8's there. So, pin 2 should be negative 98 degrees. Or volts. I have negative 93. Pin 3 should be negative 110. I have negative 113. And that's perfect because that's the offset is correct. It's just within like 1 volt off. So that's all good. I wonder if this display could be booted up with this. I'm not gonna chance it. I'm not gonna chance
I'll
it.
just go home and report
Oh
back.
wait, no, it doesn't matter because it's a pin score. It's 5 volts.
It won't matter?
No, it's fine. It's 5 volts. So we can hook up. I just want to get it running. Actually, I guess we don't even need the displays because as long as we can see the computer running, that's all that matters. CN4. What does CN4 put out again? CN4. CN4 is solenoid voltage, feature lamp voltage. CN3 is solenoid voltage. That's this guy. This guy. there. This is high voltage in the corner. This is GI. This is AC in for the GI. So the computer should boot, and we actually, I want feature lamps. So CN4 is feature lamps, right? Who's calling? CN4 is feature lamps. Let's put that in. My brother's calling me. I'm not gonna answer. Sucker. And we'll turn it on. So the soundboard boot up. Oh yeah, it's running. Okay, you're good. So
It's fixed.
we know that Imoto's power supply is good. It puts out enough 5 volts to run this thing. The high voltage is measure okay, so that's good. But this connector is still bad. And in your game, you'll probably have to replace this guy here too.
Yeah, that was the
Both
one that was
sides.
like brown, dark brown.
I'll help you come up with the list of parts for that tomorrow if you.
Okay, I have pictures.
Yeah, it's okay. I know what you'll need, but unfortunately, this isn't available. The actual like wafer connector. We don't have those in stock right now, so I messaged someone to order them, and we'll see if that actually shows up. But anyways, the power supply is good, so at least you'll know you can throw it in. So now, when you go home and you put this in your game, if it doesn't work, you've got a computer problem. Or connector problems, but yeah. Feels good, man, feels good.
Good job, guys.
Good job, Imoto, you replaced 2 capacitors. And hopefully my fuse clip rigging worked because we didn't actually put any much voltage or current through them. But it's fine. All right, where's the replacement power supply? Yay! Okay, cool. Well, that was worth staying 30 minutes extra for.
And then I'm not gonna trip and fall and.
Explode it.
Yeah.
It'll go end up where that trace is.
Thanks, Kyle. That was a fun show.
No problem, Imoto.
Right.
Where's my box?
Now we just need to put those resistors on the PPB board tomorrow, but I'll do that tomorrow.
Sweet.
It'll take 5 minutes.
All right.
All right, everyone. Well, I can't see the chat.
I'm gonna raid.
Can you read the chat? Did anyone
Spunky
say
says, "Did you try resetting it?" What's the worst that could happen? Said Colin Bax. I Touch Bubble says, "I see the lights." Digerati said, "Blinky lights."
Blinky light.
Daniel gave you a thumbs up and a sunglassy face.
Yes.
And Baxter gave you tentacles and fire hands.
This is the validation I need.
And Spunky said, "Don't pop, dude."
We good. We good.
And you got a good job, Kyle face. Daniel said, "Great stream today."
We did something, and we proved that it worked.
And then you got holding a football and telling the
That's a very Dalton thing to put in, but he's not.
and then angel wings, and then some devil horns with some rotating faces of some guy. You got a most impressive from Digerati.
Ah, yes.
You got 2 picnic baskets on fire with you in between it.
Sick, bro.
I mean, I did do something really impressive today. We just removed capacitors and changed a fuse clip. That was very difficult. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm moving the camera back this way.
Okay, great.
The
Alright, we're gonna go to The Pinball Is Not Dead, Pinball Mag TV, because I think Manu is taking a day off.
good deal for Mon. He deserves a day off.
Right.
Okay, weirdos.
Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Everyone
Aaron.
say thank you to Aaron, who was our camera op.
One of these days I'll be just as good.
Yay, I survived, Jay
Oh,
Crane.
don't forget to put this back up.
What? Is
Oh,
it?
yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
The wind chimes, very important.
Yes.
Great.
Alright, I'll see you guys
All right.
tomorrow.
See
Bye,
ya.
Aaron. Goodbye, Internet. Thanks for hanging around while we did stuff.
Let's go check out overseas. We're going overseas. And thanks for the follows, everybody, while we were working.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I love you guys.
All right. Oh, you got it.